Um, okay. Where are you? There you are, Teal Spider. And pulling you guys over here, and let's get to it. Welcome back, everybody. You did it! Hey, look at you guys! You made it through fucking Astral Sea. You didn't get lost there for 100,000 years, or however long our famed captain was there. You guys made it through the wild space of realm space. You saved your friends from the clutches of the prophet. You made it to the flow. There were all kinds of things going on there: traffic jams, sleeping aberrant horrors that you avoided, an old wizard with auto gnomes that you guys had road rage with, strange monsters that destroyed said wizard with no auto gnomes, all manner of shenanigans, but eventually made it to the wild space system um, of great space, and began to make your way to the central planet of Thessalys, and hoping there that you guys are going to uh, get all you need uh, to find Ed's brother. All the while tapping in here and there to the mirror to check in on the status of the prophet, and it seems that uh, it's not great for you guys. He got upgraded, built up. His psionics are as powerful as they've ever been. Um, you guys stopped at the Grape God Tavern at the edge of Thessalus and learned that Great Space seems to appear itself the to the Greek pantheon, to what Etherith came to understand is that the pantheon that Hecate calls herself a part of. As you are immediately ingratiated by a number of druids who serve Demeter. Then, of course, this tavern who pays homage to Dionysus. You were told about Zeus and partying and revelries and all kinds of stuff, and made it to the central planet of Thessalus and landed at this grand metropolis with skyscraping marble statues of heroes from the past, venerating the gods of Olympus, and have decided to go on a little shopping trip. And that is where we pick up today. So while I'm working on a couple extra fun visuals for you guys, you've made it. You've made it to Planetside. Captain Ed, you have finally gotten over that cold that you had again. This just very stubborn illness that just keeps coming and going with you. We'd surmise that Earth Genasi aren't meant to spend too much time in space, so it's been affecting your constitution because Earth. Um, but you've gotten over it now that you're planet side, breathing some of that fresh air. What would the party like to do?
Which I'll say now, I'm probably gonna have the sniffles next week unless my real life brother can disappear in the astral sea. Yeah, he's gonna beat me.
It can be
So
organized.
sorry. But I well damn. Did we say shopping? We want to go shopping?
I believe Etherith is heading his way over to a clothing stall. As it's worth pointing out is that pretty much everybody seems to be like really into like togas and like linen based sort of like uh, tunics. Basically how it was described, Ed, is this place as you look around at the city. It's like ancient Greece if
Yeah,
it entered the sci-fi era.
yeah. I kind of
In the
got that
in the
from the
Spelljammer
vibe.
sci-fi era, yeah. So everyone does dress very sort of ancient Greek, long, sort of flowing, linen-based tunics and togas, with varying, striking colors. Lots of whites, and accessorizing with like brasses and bronze and golds, silvers. So some people, at least Ethridge, decided it was time for a wardrobe change to fit in
Oh,
because you
this
guys
is
definitely stick out.
this is very original Star Trek.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
Ed, Ed's gonna, in his very classy manner, go to the shops with Edrift, but he's looking to see if there's like, if he can find a little patch that says like, I went to Space Grease to add to his jumpsuit, which in my head canon he's been doing in different places.
Okay, I got you. I've no doubt you'll be able to commission someone to make that happen for you. That's not an issue.
But he will be following Edrift in the shops and
Okay.
basically asked if Etheriff is the friend that's like traveling to Japan and adjusting to the customs, adds the like loud American that's like really kind of killing the vibe. So you
Of
gotta like
course.
just from a presentation perspective, you know, because I could definitely see like because this seems like otherworldly, you know what I mean? So it's like definitely Ed's sticking out like the space rock
Tourist vibes. That's
bro
what it
dude he
is.
is. But he is the captain, so.
Yeah.
Uh,
Uh, uh, yeah, absolutely. So you go over to one of these people. I'm just getting some of my notes out. Sorry. But yeah, you guys can start doing that. Well, I'll tell you what. You guys all go there. It depends on what kind of outfit you wanna get. There's various levels of outfits, but no shortage of people who will want to supply to you. I'll say that you go over to this one like Jesus Christ, cobbler weaver shop, and this sort of like old man with like a big bushy brown beard, a little salt in the beard. He says, "Welcome to my shop. It is good to your Spellers fairs. Well, yes, come into my shop. I what could I do for you? You look like you come from great faraway travelers."
we're in Astoria, Queens. Lots of Greek folks there. Oh yeah, my good
Welcome to my
friend.
shop, Queens. Yes, it's called Queens. How did you know?
Yeah, that you know, what are you grabbing? You gonna grab one of these or maybe one of those? And that's definitely grabbing anything that's nearby if it's like on a rack.
As we've been walking through Thessalys, Ether's been like had a slightly dazed look in their eye, very much kind of like it's like almost kind of looks a bit kind of nervy and generally has like almost like confused expression on his face. Um, right. I so I'm looking for kind of looks at himself. I look like a wizard from a different system. I actually stole most of these clothes off a dead cultist. I'm looking for.
Funny joke. You're very funny. You're very funny.
I well, I'm looking for a toga, preferably in a sort of silvery blue color.
Oh, silvery blue. Oh, very, very fancy. I like your taste, my friend. Yes, I can absolutely have a fine selection, please. And he'll bring you to take a little look. And there's plenty that you might wish and seek. He's got all kinds of colors with various levels of gilding. He says, "Very fine fabric you touch. Yes, 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 yes. Good, very good." And uh, you're looking for like a blue. He says, "Do you want one shoulder or two shoulder? Huh? You show off that strong chest, perhaps, huh?"
Of course.
I'm mostly just going by what I've done for the Ethris minis, but so
Yeah, fair enough.
yeah. How about he kind of picks out like almost like it's two shoulder like some sort of silver like adornments, and
Yeah.
this one matches my scales perfectly.
Yes, yes, matches. Yes, of course. Many fine such. We also do a lot of work with a jeweler down the very same street for many accessories. So please, accessorize. I see you have a pointed hat. I could have something special made for you, my friend. Huh?
Um, I think the hat has to go.
Oh,
Oh, huh?
I'll,
very well.
I'll put it. I'll keep it in my room on the ship as a sort of keepsake. But I'm ready to ready to kind of show my face to this wild space system, I think.
Ah, very well, very well. And yeah, he will just yeah, he'll sell you what you want. For what that you've asked for, yeah, I've seen your mini. Yeah, I'm not gonna say it's too. I'll let you decide if this would be considered just common traveler's clothes, or if this is like if this common or traveler's clothes.
I would consider them travelers because like this is what tends to be wearing like when we're adventuring. So I feel like
Yeah.
travelers is probably like
All right. So for 2 gold, you can equip yourself with a fine outfit, accessories, and all.
cool.
So you see Etherith with his new white scales come out with flowing, with the sleeve, of course, but with the Hellhound sleeve, but with these flowing blue gilded robes. And he says, "Very good. And you are a wizard, you say? Ah, you must meet with the philosophers. Many wizards are philosophers here in Thessalys.
Philosophers, you say?
Oh, yes, yes, philosophers are a very important part of our culture. They do everything from space travel to understanding magics to the great wisdoms. They do all. They teach all mathematics, everything.
Just the word philosopher like sort of tickles Ethelred's brain a bit. It's like I think I'd very much like to see these philosophers.
Oh, very good. Well, I'll just get back to you about
Yeah, yeah.
where to find them, my friend. But first, your other friends need a little attention. And he'll sort of like look around and say, "Who else? Does anyone else would like some of my fine wares?"
You got any patches?
Patches? What is like a pocket?
Yeah, yeah, there's one. And it shows off.
He goes, oh, I could have something made for you. That's a rather unique design, but I could have something made from you. Very thick material.
Yeah, yeah. Go nuts. You know, how about it?
All right. Yeah. What do you want on it?
Well, I think Ed will point to like if he can see it from here. I don't know. Is there like a fountain, big building looking thing?
Yeah.
Something important.
Let's see. You would look out. So you guys are currently in the artisan order. So let's see. You're gonna look out, and I think the biggest thing is like there's this shop that you're in. This tailor is it's huge with various displays. You maybe look out across the street to see this place called the Whimsical Trinket, and it is a big shop with like towering columns. It's a beautiful example of the architecture of this place. It's not like the Parthenon or anything like that, but it is like this big, beautiful gilded marble shop, open air. And fuck it, we'll say that there's a fountain out front in the middle of the square. Sure, why not?
Looking for it. I like some water, but I like it. Yeah, you know, just kind of put that in the material. You seem creative. Yeah, you got a creative spirit. Go nuts.
All right, yes. And he'll clap a couple of times, and you're gonna see like a number of, I guess they'd be automatons. You just see like, and like very sleek. Think like a combo between those like robots at the end of Arcane, like how they like move so sleekly and gracefully and everything. But I yeah, or we'll say like a little more like Warforged looky, but like with brass. So they're very like sleek and elegant. Maybe even more so than the Apox units, which are kind of a little more patchworked together. look about half made. These are very sleek, and they come out and start like two of them come out with weaver's tools, pick it in each hand, and then pull like an iRobot and start like threading together what you've asked for in seconds.
Oh, what are they wearing?
They're not wearing anything. Unfortunately.
All right.
All right. And they hand him the patch, and he hands it to you. He goes, "Is this something that you are looking for, my friend?"
No, that's one of the best I've seen. You know, that's absolutely it. How much do I owe you, friend?
Well, we do, of course, worship the craft god Hephaestus. He's always to make sure as we have everything we need for inspiration in our craft, huh?
Yeah. So, 2 gold?
Oh, no, too gold. You're too kind, my friend. No, this is very simple to make. I charge you 5 copper.
Oh, here you go. We'll settle even at 10 silver.
Oh, that's a whole gold. You upsell too much. This is part of it. I cannot accept too much. Here, at least take something extra. What kind of you that you like? And he'll like look around his shop. And he's gonna take this like basically like the laurel, like the gold laurel that Apollo wears in mythology.
That's what I wanted.
Like
yeah.
Yeah, it takes there's like a whole rack of them. And he like takes one out and he hands it to you, and he goes, "Here you go, welcome to Thessalys, my friend. There you go. That's for you."
Rocket. He'll put it on.
Beautiful. And he goes, "Oh, my golden friend! Look, you're a creation of Hephaestus himself. Would you like one as well, my friend?"
Oh yeah. I'll take one of those.
Oh, here you go. This is for you, my friend. This is for you. This is solid gold, so 5 silver.
Okie dokie. Hey, what do you guys do around here for entertainment?
Oh, you've been on your travels for so long, looking to stretch your legs. I see. Yes, we do have a very good entertainment district. It's called the Twilight Promenade. Yes, much to see there. There is the great moonlit stage theater. There is the Velvet Cabaret. There is, we have a gambling hall, the Starfall's Rest. There's also other businesses for more physical needs, you know what I'm saying, my friend? Even for people of your kind, my automaton friend. They serve all kinds in the entertainment district.
Oh, and a whole entertainment district. That sounds amazing. Let's go there.
All right. Well, is there anyone else who would like some new threads? You all look like you come from deep space. Need to something freshen up with, huh? Anyone else need anything?
No, I'm good, thank you.
Oh, very well.
A quick reminder, Bisan always veils when she leaves.
You veil?
I just want to remind folks.
Yeah, because of her scary-ass shark teeth.
Yeah.
Saeed is there, unveiled, and it's just like looking around unapologetically. If you guys would have brought him, or he could have gone fucked off. Then
actually, she would have. Yeah, she would have brought him.
Yep. He wanders around unapologetically, and people are like, "Oh," he's like, "Ah," and they're like, "Ah," and leave you guys alone.
That serves its purposes. I don't want to stand out. Can I get something to just blend in, please?
Sure, of course. If you want something a little bit more veiled, and longer sleeves, a veil, like I said,
I need to be able to use my sword.
Very well. Let's see. And he'll start taking all manner of fabrics over you, and I don't know if you've seen many depictions of the goddess. Oh, come on! How am I not remembering her? Goddess of the Hearth. What's her name?
You weren't going after Aphrodite?
No,
Hestia.
Hestia. Thank you. Oh my god. I don't know if you see many depictions of Hestia where she has like the high veil over, sort of like that covers up her hair. He would sort of put you in something like that. It would have something attached that would like could be taken on and off to sort of cover up the lower part of the face. Something that does have like draping sleeves, and then he would sort of like put a sort of like a girdle like thin belt around to kind of like hold all of the linen together in case you need to enter combat.
I guess maybe in my head I mean, like
That's for
above
you.
above the table, I'm thinking Artemis, I'm thinking Athena, I'm thinking like she's not trying to be a cute little girl. She needs to be able to fight. She doesn't know this place.
Well, my deepest apologies, Miss. I misread. I'm sorry. Let's try again. And he will say, "Okay, we're trying to cover everything up, but also be a warrior. Very interesting challenge." And he will end up putting you in something that is probably a combo of that and maybe what Athena's going on because he does like have like sleeves that are sort of like tied together loosely. That could probably just like you're gonna have to pull a whole bunch of them if you really want to like make your arms free again. But that isn't to say you can't fight in it regardless. But like yeah, it's like a long sort of almost battle dress, but does have the veil over the head with like lots of cloth spun around it. But like that's like you just pull on one, the whole thing's fucking gone missing.
Does it look cool?
It looks very mysterious. Yeah, I'd say it looks
Perfect.
cool.
That'll work. If she can
Yeah.
blend in and look cool, that's
Absolutely. You get the sense that they don't do sleeves a ton. They're more like poncho-y when it comes to sleeves. But so he kind of like does a makeshift sleeve for you. He's like, I try my best. We are very free-flowing people here on Thessalys.
I don't mind if people see my arms. I just don't care to show my face.
I'm sorry, my friend. I'm sorry about that. He'll charge you 2 gold for traveler's clothes.
Thank you.
Well, it has been great having you all here. If there's anything else you need, please return anytime. It has been my honor to serve you here. Let's see. This is the Thread and Thorn. Thank you very much for coming. And you guys may enter the streets. Some of you accessorized. Some of you fully down in new outfits. Some of you always the way you were.
Got the patch.
Where to now?
I think Ed's gonna look for the most governmental-looking building, like a diplomat.
Very easily seen. The most immediately visible would be floating almost on the clouds above the actual city. You would see this massive palace that looks almost UFO-like in a way, but and made of like almost like a silvery steel finish, but has like multiple. It has like 2 towers with a central sort of almost like again UFO almost saucer-like center that connects it all together. And it, like it's not literally floating on clouds. There's these long spires that hold it very, very high above the rest of the city proper. It's this massive, strange castle that kind of sits atop the entire city.
All right, crew. We've most definitely already been noticed here, given the very obvious nature of us. So, what do we say? Do we all want to stick together? Do we want to split up and mingle? Take a day to see the sights? Doesn't seem very dangerous or hostile here. You know? I think it seems quite nicer than the Rock of Brawl, which is our usual stuff. So, in any case, I feel if we're looking for whoever's in charge here, probably our best bet to walk over that way. Fly over that way. That place is hovering, ain't it?
Did we just need to ask the mirror where your brother was and then go to your brother?
I mean, we could, but we're here now too. Might
Ah,
want something up here.
okay, we can do that tomorrow then.
I believe the mirror was keeping an eye on the prophet for us, wasn't it?
Can
What was that?
can 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 the mirror find your brother and then find the prophet again? Does the mirror have to only find the prophet? I don't. His
No.
name is Nigel. We gave him a name, Captain. His name is Nigel.
Nice.
He's friend shaped.
Really not.
Didn't really look like a Nigel, but I like
Shaped
it.
like
I
a
am going
desk.
back to Captain. I am going back. I'm going to go talk to Nigel. I will find your brother while y'all do your thing.
All right, son.
So
Look forward
I
to
will-
Bisan is going to go find his brother.
I'll back the
All
sun.
right, we'll get back to you in a bit, Hassan. What was that, Randall?
I will back the sun up on that, so she's not on her own.
Okay, you two can head off. Not Voldemort. Chaplain. Sorry.
Oh yeah.
Chaplain.
Sorry.
No problem at all. What about you, Chaplain?
I will follow the captain, but I would like to go ahead and roll my rust bag of tricks.
Yeah.
Seems like the perfect place for some lions or goats. So let's see. I haven't done this in a bit. D8s, right? Yep.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I got it.
After I've got that shit on. After I have to say, you really have that shit on, you know? No, no.
I got.
All right, so
I have a-
three of us.
I have a rat, a giant boar, and a brown bear.
Okay, all of these sort of appear, and like a little rat curls up on your shoulder. Yeah, and you're well and down, and some nearby people sort of sort of like applaud you, Chaplain, your little menagerie. You seem to be less frightened than other people.
All right, now we can go.
And to explain my position here, you know, we just barely made it through what we just did. I'm navigating out there, but it's like I'm learning to use my eyes all over again. You can back that up, right, After if it's a little bit trickier. So, kind of want to find someone, perhaps friendly, who's maybe able to give us a pointer or two, because we get lost out there. I don't want to know what happened.
Sorry, Captain. I have this constant sense of deja vu. It's.
I don't like that at all. Elaborate.
Well, nothing good has ever happened to us. That can't be good.
No, To be clear, I haven't lived very long. I hatched with Vash, and yet walking around this city feels so eerily familiar. It's strange. But so I'm interested in seeing these philosophers that Taylor talked about, but if there's something else you're looking for, we can go by your orders, Captain.
No, please. If lead us wherever looks more familiar. I'm just looking for, well, I guess conversation right now, but we'll see how far it goes.
Can at some point can we go to the entertainment district? I mean, people who wear togas seem like they know how to party.
That would be a good way of getting word out there too. Sure. After this, we'll we'll make rounds and we'll make ourselves known here. There's bound to be someone here to help us. And who knows, we could use a side job or two. Yeah, we're in a whole new part of everything, really. So lead the way.
I have to look around, and then I guess I'll try and figure out where to find these philosophers.
Uh, understood. Um, okay.
Yeah,
Let's
see
do
what
it. Right. Okay. Yeah, you guys are gonna go do a little wander and see if you can find them. So Chop Up with Ed are gonna go try and find some Philosophers. All right, you kind of go looking around. Without too much issue, you're actually already in the correct district for it. Nestled into the Artisan's Quarter, you're going to see this sort of central. It's like a city center in a way, but it's like a park with it's got a little bit of nature to it, but it mostly looks like marbled seating and little amphitheaters here and there, where you see many people who are dressed in these uh, togas, but mostly like sort of like long draping robes that do indeed have like a deep blue integrated into like a sort of like a deep blue sort of over sash that sometimes is flecked with like little bits of design here and there. Various older men, sort of younger women, all with these ideas on. They all sort of speak as they sit around the different parks. Some of them stand in the middle of amphitheaters and debate. Some of them twisting illusions around their fingers to help illustrate their points, whether it be mathematics or philosopher concepts. But the entire place is built from, as usual, a smooth white marble stone that seems to be veiled with like a little bit of gold gilding throughout the city streets, and it seems to radiate a sort of tranquility, like an aura of tranquility. And while all of these heated debates occur, there's no tension of rivalry. It's very respectful debate, and many of these people do so. They debate at length. There's about three figures around who seem to be excuse me, there's three trees in the actual agora where different people seem to like debate under. There's this big oak tree with silver leaves. There is this cherry blossom tree, except the pink leaves are gold. And lastly, there is this like large series of ferns, and they all seem to not be so green, but almost like they're like black ferns, and they all seem to hang out at these different parts. There's a couple of interiors as well, but that's largely what you see as you enter the agora. Little sign will say it: the Lumina Agora.
This is for a place of, say, verbal contest. It's rather peaceful.
They all kind of talk like you out there, so I see that.
I'll tell that's a compliment or an insult.
I think it's more of a compliment. Uh, uh,
The use of illusion magic is presentation is cute. But I have a feeling that kind of looked at Ed. It's a lot of talking, and I'm mostly just trying to get my bearings more than anything. I'll return here another time when I feel as if I have something to debate, although I feel that perhaps my faith might be at odds with this peaceful setting.
Well,
Entertainment, Chaplain?
Yay, entertainment!
that'll take just like a second longer. Not to make you act this out, Ryan, but is
No,
there
it's
like
all
a
good.
specific debate that they're really hammering? Like, what's their gun control? You know, like what are they talking about over there? Like, what's really out of each other's necks?
Let me see. Let me see. I'll tell you what. As you look around for such a debate, do you look to the silver oak tree, the gold cherry blossom tree, or the sort of dusky ferns?
Which tree looks more like Ether? I would say the
Oh,
dusky ferns, right?
probably more
Is
like the
that
silver oak tree.
or the
Shifted
soul
so
edge?
I've shifted to full moon, so I'm more silvery now.
All right, so I'll follow that one. Ed's going purely off of Ether's vibes. Like, yeah.
Absolutely. Um, so you look over to this silverleaf oak where you see a number of people are debating. Um, as you sort of like look over, you'll notice that wrote into like the floor of the main courtyard, there is a quote that says, "The seeker's path is endless, for each question births another." And as you kind of get an ear on what they're talking about over there, one of them says, and he seems to be talking to a number of students, and he says, "So we debate the essence of wisdom. And could somebody describe to me what is the difference between wisdom and intelligence?" And someone like puts their hand up and said, "Intelligence is well, intelligence is knowledge, and wisdom is and wisdom's more about like how you live. There's some way to think about it, but you must think about it in terms of that intelligence is indeed knowledge, and that's much more correct, and Athena would be with you in this. But wisdom, what she truly represents, is the application of wisdom, which is why she is the goddess of tactics, because she has knowledge. It's about how she uses the knowledge. And all of them are like, oh, they like write down on their little, but there seem to be like stones, but you see like as they're writing, it's like there's like illusions that kind of pop off of the actual stone, and it is essentially like an ancient Greek iPad a little bit, and they like write into the like illusions, and it's saved like the codex of the actual stones. And he says, and he begins to debate wisdom. And he says, wisdom must take application in all forms of your life, whether dealing with your friends, seeking great truths, or battle, especially battle. For we know that the great warrior knows that all war is based on strategy and thus deception." And continues to debate, but there seems to be under the silver tree there debating the essence of wisdom.
If Ed's the only one that caught that, he'll keep it to himself. But if Ether saw it or heard it as well, like, what say you, Ether? And he'll repeat the same question the philosopher asks his students.
Well, I think that the philosopher mostly has is correct. I find that intelligence is often what you know and your ability to acquire and retain new information, and wisdom is your application of that information. It's one thing to know a lot of spells, it's another to know when to use them.
I like that. All right, then, Chaplain. Let's go
Oh,
give these
yeah.
folks a shout.
Oh wait, well now I'm kind of interested. So how does religion figure into intelligence and wisdom?
Oh, well, ask the philosopher in front of his entire class. Could be an opportune time for Chaplain to maybe give them a shout.
I suppose it would,
What do you think?
I guess it would depend on your faith. If we're talking purely like on a basic level, it would be on intelligence being understanding of your religious doctrines and ethos, and wisdom would be knowing how to apply it. But religion also has a faith component, something not based in concrete knowledge, but more in hope.
Is hope a component of wisdom then?
I would hazard to say no. I think that if you're ever coming up with a plan, and hope is a crucial piece of your strategy or plan for going through life, your plan is flawed. It has wishful thinking.
Is that
You'd
where
be surprised how many times hope has played a very crucial role in what we've done.
It's paradoxical. Hope isn't a logical thing. It's something that you're basically you're just betting on things working out in your favor with no real basis. And yet it is also something that spurs people into action, to take risks, to bet it all on a slim chance of survival. Almost like breaking a friend out of an illicit prison.
Very much so.
You
Is
hadn't
that
noticed. You hadn't noticed, but you guys are like talking about this. You start to begin to notice that like 5 or 6 like younger members of of this whatever's going on, this philosophy car, like standing around listening to you talk, like with interest, and they're just like, oh, okay. Like taking notes as you guys are debating the hope and faith and theology.
so? Hope brings up an interesting question. Does that tie into the belief or disbelief in fate? I mean, if there really truly is a predetermined fate, then there can't really be hope, can there?
Ethelred like opens up the speaker, kind of closes it because they're very uncertain about they're treading shaky ground here. I suppose it would depend on your personal view of what fate entails. There are some who follow the belief of Hecate, for example, the witch, the Lady of Crossroads, and she and belief in her would imply that fate is not so concrete. I kind of gesture to the tree. The future branches. Every decision means that you follow a certain road through the future. But there is every possibility you could have followed another, and thus the future would be different. All we can do in the present is make our decisions and choose a path to walk. So in one sense, the future is what you make it, based on whatever you decide. And if we're talking about that in the context of hope, then more or less hoping that you've chosen the right path.
So, and to back this up, he doesn't often have conversations like this, but he's enjoying this. And Chaplin is obviously very faith based, but also has an 18 in wisdom. So, like the tree, though, there are outside environmental elements that do determine how the branches of the tree grow. It's not completely emotional or up to or it is up to circumstance, but it's not random, right? There's the sun shines a certain way, the wind blows a certain way, the weather conditions are a certain way. Like the tree branches do grow in what we would consider at this moment maybe unpredictable, but certainly determined by future conditions.
Indeed, there is sort of a method to the chaos, method to the madness. If you were to sort of, I mean, hindsight is a wonderful thing, that when you look back at your past decisions, you can sort of figure out how things worked out the way they did. So, and then obviously there are also outside forces outside your control that will influence the decisions you make. There's no true way to perfectly control what your future holds, but play your cards right, and you can influence the outcome. If you... I mean, let's take the tree again for an example. Plants grow where there is sunlight. And if you, as a gardener, dictate which way where the sun comes from, you can control which way the tree will grow. Yes, the branches will still spread, but the overall trajectory will be in the direction you desire.
So isn't faith that true? We can, right? We can guide it. Isn't faith then the idea that something more powerful than us, even though we don't have the ability to see what the future conditions may be and to be able to predict them 100% correctly, their faith is essentially the idea that there is something out there. There's someone out there, something out there controlling things, understanding things in a way that they do know what the future conditions will be and the way that we will grow.
There's this grins. It's like, um, there would not be deities based around around clairvoyance. Clairvoyance spells themselves would not exist if the future were not in some way predictable.
You'll hear a chime in from the audience. You'll see that same philosopher is debating wisdom in the back. Him and his cabal of students come forward. He says, if I may interject, just out of curiosity's sake, your debate is so riveting. I pose a point to you. You're very strong-minded. I would ask, does it not stand to reason that the possibility of divination may be to reach out to something that can see further down the tangled path of fate, someone who has a deeper insight into the possibility of the future, can better predict what will happen rather than know it as certainty.
I would agree. I think that the foresight of mortals is limited. We are but short-lived beings, still figuring out our way through the world, but looking to the gods, they've lived much longer, can see further. Of that I have no doubt.
None sees further than great Apollo. Students, look where we have visiting scholars who debates better than some of you do. I've seen some of your reports, and and then like an applause actually breaks out for you three. And this man will like come over to shake your hand after it, if you'll allow, and we'll go around the circle to Chaplain to Ed. He goes, I have to say it was most enjoyable listening to the three of you debate. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Philocrates. I know my parents, I think, had an intended role for me in society. But it is a very, very interesting to hear you all debate. Where do you hail from? You have such strong powers of debate and philosophy.
Captain Ed York, good to meet you. I'll let our Matter here, he seems to have more of a feeling.
I am Etherith, and this is my crewmate, and let's call basically our ship medical doctor. This is Chaplain Foolskull.
Nice to meet you. I'm a Glitterbright.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Welcome, welcome. Well, I have to say, it is wonderful to have you here. If you do not mind, I would like to invite you to a debate we're having later tonight here in the great courtyard. We were going to debate the difference between the magics of the divine and the essence of the arcane this evening here. Many members of the Lumina Concord we're going to meet, which are just we old people who talk too much, really. We'd be interested for you to join us if you had some time on your hands.
Would you allow us to watch?
I would be,
or perhaps even hear some of your perspectives. You seem to come from faraway lands.
We hail from realm space, and I would be delighted to accept the invitation.
Absolutely. We're looking to get to know the locals, any of your best travelers, too, if you have it.
Well, excellent. Consider yourself always welcome here. It was a great pleasure to hear your debate. I'm sure my students could learn something if you decided to spend more time around here. Perhaps I might not be so disappointed in something. But well, I'll leave you to have your good day, and I must get back to being a professor. But it was a pleasure listening to your debates. Thank you. And then there'll be another sort of like applause for the traveling scholars that you all are, and they will take their leave. And as they do so, all of you, as you have debated philosophy here in the Agora, with you know welcome, kind debate and genuine, intelligent discussion, all of you are going to be blessed by the goddess Athena.
It's a little weird for me.
Maybe a little bit. You just feel this like, and maybe not all of you know where it comes from. You know, just like a little bit of faith in that practice is sort of just being thrown your way a little bit. I'm just looking for a fitting spell that you guys will all have access to for the rest of the day.
What a lovely chat, you two. That was great.
Just imagine the Olympians going like, "Oh, Hecate, your little dragon creature is very entertaining."
Oh, no.
Like, shut up. I'm gonna say you all, because you have all spoken at length, I'm gonna say you all have access to healing word.
Oh.
You all have access to healing word for the rest of the day. One of them, but I'll say like you can upcast if you want, or use a higher level spell, but it's a free healing word for the day. And as you guys spin around and go taking a look for the entertainment district, we will head back to the ship and see what Arendelle, Basan, and Saeed are up to. All the other people are gone. Everyone else has gone into the city to go. They're probably already in the entertainment district, but you guys go on aboard your empty ship.
At some point, Bisan actually looks at Saeed. I'm just surprised you're here.
Why?
I thought you'd be out enjoying.
Well, I'm not. I'm here with you instead.
I am not mad about it.
He sort of just grumbles, kind of like looks off into the roof of the ship, being so apathetic and uncaring and cool.
He is very cool.
But regardless, you guys want to go talk to the mere Nigel.
I'm also going to grab Archie. I figure when we're done, we'll go back out and he'll probably want a little breath of fresh air.
Okay, beautiful. Yeah, he kind of yelps happily as you like take him out of your room. He kind of like runs out, like does like a little like unit or a little pass around the ship and comes back and kind of does his little fox hop. He's excited to get off the ship too, probably. And yeah, you guys make your way up to Nigel the Mirror, and he's going, "I'm so roaring, so roaring. Oh, hi everybody! Hi, welcome back. How's shore leave? Is it great? How long has it been?
Minutes.
Oh, okay." Okay. Well, what can I do for you? You wanna talk? You wanna do some hang out?
Nigel, can you find the captain's brother now?
Yeah, I'll find the captain's stupid brother.
I know it's not exciting. I don't know if we can wheel you out of the ship right now.
Curse the wizard who put me in an entire real wood armoire whole thing. I'd have been so much lighter as just a mirror. All right. Do you know the guy's name? It would help.
I don't know his name. He is Ed's brother. I'm very sorry.
All right. Well, if I could get like a likeness or a picture or like some blood, it'd be so much easier. But I'll
What
do my
about
best.
um but what about something of Ed's? Because Ed's his brother. Like, does it work that way? Maybe? No.
No, because that's Ed's stuff, not his stuff. It
But there
sounds like Ed hasn't seen the guy in years, so I don't think so. No, it's got to be his stuff. Like, the more personal, the better. Like, a picture, great. A bone of his, even better. Well, we're going to stop talking about that thing I just said. I'm going to go and try and find him now. And he just kind of it's a mist and shadows to try and seek him out. And you kind of like hang around while he buffers for 10 minutes. And he goes, sorry, I don't have a very good connection with whoever this is. Like, I've got Earth Genasi. It probably smells like Ed. And I can't smell because I'm a mirror.
that that makes sense.
The more I know about him, the more easier it'll be to find him. And especially if I've met him. If I've met him, I mean, that kind of defeats the whole purpose. But if you can find stuff that belongs to him, oh, this gets so much easier.
That makes sense. I thought maybe if you were closer, it would work.
It does.
It was worth a
It
try.
does help. It does help to be on the same plane of existence as him. It makes it entirely possible. If you could get Ed to like draw like a really good picture up, that would help as like a start.
The captain is frolicking. I will ask him to draw a picture when he is done with his frolic. Apparently, it's something they need.
Oh, to frolic again. I don't remember what it's like having feet, but I imagine it's nice to frolic.
She kind of stops and looks at Archie, who's, I imagine, mid frolic.
You're like rolling around on the ground.
He looks like he's having a good frolic. And she's gonna look at Arundel and go, want to step outside and spar.
Okay, if you want to. It's been a while since we've clashed swords, so why not?
But so they'll go, like, she'll go outside the ship just to get air, and will obviously use her long sword and not her sunblade, which can't be gentled.
You open the ship. Archie runs out, does a couple circles, very happy, and like you guys landed on the edge of town, obviously, and so like there is like the city proper, but there's also like kind of like a little bit of a plain that leads into a forest, none too far away, only like a mile off, and Archie just like goes darting for the grass. Sweet, you two step out. You guys want to have a little combat?
Yeah.
All right, roll some initiative,
Yeah,
you two.
I'll change my weapon as well to the scimitar. I don't want to break her longsword with the adamantium, so that might help.
That is very fair.
12 for me.
23.
All right, Basan, you're first. Saeed watches, sits on the thing, watches. Yeah, go for it.
That is. What is my thing? One of those should hit and one of those will not. So one of those is a 26 and one of those is a 17.
26 does, yeah.
So the one that hits does 7 points of damage. I'm not using magic. This is more just to knock some dust off.
So I'm going to use my reaction for riposte. So I'll spend a die on that, and that gives me a reaction hit, yeah. For 1. Never mind.
Which will not hit.
No, as in that just. Oh crap! Hold on. So it just said I can take a reaction and spend a superiority die.
Okay.
Make a melee attack with a weapon or unarmed strike against a creature. So I'll have to roll.
Oh, okay, I thought you said that you would roll to one. I'm
Oh,
like,
sorry.
that won't hit.
Yeah. No. Sorry, that was for the damage.
All right.
That won't hit anyway. It was a 9. So don't worry about it. Failed. Okay. Right. 19 to hit?
Actually, I believe that's going to hit. Let me just, yeah, meets it.
9 damage. I'll pull that on there.
Give me a second. What the hell can I do? What are the things? Yeah, that's fine. I'll just take absorb it.
No, there's nothing else. I'll do.
All right. So I believe it is. All right, that is a 19.
Yes.
And 12 plus 8 is a dirty 20. All right, so yeah, it's a 19 and a dirty 20.
They both hit.
Do. So that is 8. And 6. It's 8 and 6, like, are just that should have been the damage if both of those hit. I'm sorry. I don't know if you heard that.
Yeah, I'll use a superiority die and parry that on strength, so 6. So I get 6 back, or 6 less on your attack for that. One of them. Okay.
So if you, yeah, so what? So then one of them wouldn't hit, I would imagine.
No, it was just the damage. The amount
for
of
the
damage
damage.
is taken off.
All right.
Okay. Yes, that'll hit. 23. Ooh, 10 damage. And that'll be me. Because I only have 1 attack per turn, so you're good.
Okay, so did you...
23 to hit?
Right. Okay. So she will use her defensive duelist to parry that.
Mm-hmm.
While the gentlemen verbal spar across the city, a true duel happens over here, and I think and it is a very interesting battle that's occurring. Like because all the misses and whatnot, those are all like parries and blocks and the use of the armor, and it's a very skillful battle, and people definitely stop in the streets to like watch this, and people start handing around bags of coins and whatever, debating who might win. And it's an interesting battle that begins to catch attention of passerbys.
So, all right. I think it is back to Bison's turn.
Yes.
So one of these is a nat 20, and the other is a dirty 20.
Okay.
That was not expected. All right, so the max damage is 15. So for the 20, 15 plus 11 is 26.
Okay.
I'll take that. Not that.
And then for the 19, the damage is 8. How does he look?
He's looking alright, yeah.
He's looking all
He's
right?
good.
All right.
Okay. Right, as a maneuver. As a maneuver, I'm gonna. Oh no. Doesn't start. Okay, I'll just go. Do I? Yeah, I'll just stay with a scimitar for a minute. Oh, that's a day in that one. Not having my finest day today. So, up to you.
Is there a role that you would allow Bisan to react, if there is a crowd, to react in a way to save that nat one to like make it look like it wasn't as bad as it was? Because she's aware that she is now aware that people are watching, so she doesn't want her her friend to.
I would say the only way you could really get around it would be to like throw yourself in the path of the blade, because like, and that one's like, it's like a decent fumble, right? Like it's like a trip, or like a visible like if someone were standing nearby, it would have been very helpful for them. So I would say it would be to like intentionally move yourself from the path of the blow, and I would require a deception or a performance check to play it off on your part. If you have a reaction.
She has a reaction.
All right, you throw yourself in the path of the blade. Maybe a deception or performance check to like make it look like Arendelle was like anticipating you.
It's a flat roll. It's a flat roll.
All right.
Oh shit. It's an 18.
An 18. You see the way it's going, where like you catch what people probably weren't missing. Like you're watching, like you've got your eye on his blade, but you're watching the footwork as well. And you see Arendelle kind of like miss a step, and you know the blade. It's like an easy, just like you just gotta stand still and it'll miss. And in this like, because it's like it's half a second. So there's just this instinct in you, Basan, to just help Arendelle save face, and you just like step into the path of the blade as Arendelle takes this wide like whoops swing that should be hitting anywhere but where you are, and you just step into the next square and just boom take it in the face. To go ahead and roll damage, Arendelle. And I think it surprises you, Arendelle. Like you didn't know. I think for you, what's your passive insight?
17.
And you roll an 18, Basan? So, Rendo, I think you just kind of like have this moment of like, wow, I like kind of instinctively like anticipated where it's like I think you think you're pretty select at this moment. Where you like, no, it was a nat one, and it's close enough. I think you have a moment of like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah,
Like,
I think I would know.
Yeah. You like you felt going off balance, and it was like oh fuck, here we go. And then you clock her, and you're like, what? So maybe like in the middle of the battle, you have no idea what happened, but like it only takes a second or two to get that she threw herself in front of your blade to help you save face.
I'll then after that strike, I'll be like, obviously today is not my day. Thank you, Bason. I'll sheathe my sword and bow and say, well played. One to you.
I 2 out of 3.
If you wish.
Some people are like, so when you hit smack her in the head, Arendelle, some people in the crowd are like, ooh, yeah, they start handing around coins. And then you're like, oh, I see. And they're all like, and like they all start handing coins back. And so like they thought, they were like, oh, we won. And then you succeed, and then they're like, fuck. So it's this funny, like, win loss.
Well, can I make a suggestion? I know that you're training your powers. Shall we forego the swords and try using your abilities instead?
I don't know how to do less with that. And I don't know how to unfire fire.
That's
yet.
okay. We can work with that. I can heal. It's not a problem.
Also, I don't have those spells today. I have fast combat spells, not spells. Sorry.
Okay.
Tomorrow. And she smiles. She's like, let's go find the others.
Okay.
As you
well
guys
done.
As you guys get up to go find the others, you'll notice Basan, your fox has not returned.
All right. You want to go looking?
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
And she's gonna try to track him. She's
Yeah.
proficient in survival. Maybe she can do this.
Yeah, maybe a survival check. You at least saw what direction you're in, so you can pick up the trail.
19.
19 is more than enough for a fresh trail in a grassland. Saeed's like, he's just being a shit. And you do pack up, you do track down this like just slight parting of grass. You kind of saw which way he went, and you're like, okay, that's definitely him. And you kind of see the trail continue into like the slightly longer grass. Like this isn't maintained grass, it's just like a plains of fields. So yeah, you could begin to follow it out into the grassland.
Before we go, do you Need a little heal before we head out? Are you okay?
I'm okay. She looks very fine.
That's fine. Okay.
So it's like, damn. Um, yeah, you guys begin to follow, and we will circle back to you guys in a minute. But for now, Ed, Ethert, and Chaplin, the boys are back in town. You guys are gonna head over to the entertainment district. Let's see where you're going. Oh, come on, we're here.
No,
Oh,
from the sounds of the plan, we're about to do the RRR dance in the middle of the entertainment square. That's what it
maybe.
sounds like. RRR.
You guys enter into the expansive entertainment district known as the Twilight Promenade. It is the revelry of the city that surrounds the district that sort of surrounds the towers that lead up to Castle Skyview, as it is known. You see this district of just architectural beauty, a lot of open air buildings where you can hear the sounds of magic, music, taverns, creativity, and they all collide into a great array of venues and experiences. You're going to see many things, and as you walk down the street, I'm just going to name. You guys got money in your pockets. You got money to blow, time to blow. And as you make your way down, I'm just going to start describing things you begin to see. The first thing
let's
you
go
see,
somewhere where there's music.
absolutely. The first thing you guys see is like the first most big thing, almost like the Colosseum when you kind of enter the heart of Rome, sort of appearing before you is this massive, grand amphitheater, the likes of which you have never seen before, massive in scale. The centerpiece of the entire district, an open air theater that is a marvel of magical architecture, where it is indeed a marble. Like it is a marble structure, but it isn't stacked. They're not blocks. It's all just like been like finely crafted out of a single block of earth that has been melded and shaped. Maybe even an entire mountain that has just been sort of combed through by earth workers until it has come into this big, beautiful centerpiece. Where I'll say that right now I'll say that there's like a bit of a dance going on right now where there's like this low sort of like drum thing going on. You see these dynamic dancers that are like, it's very like Avatar Last Airbender, like the firebenders, like firebender dancers almost, where they're using flame to sort of put on this performance. People sit in the and watch in spectacle and awe.
Nice.
You continue onward to see the Velvet Chalice, which seems to be this sort of cabaret situation where indeed there's lots of music coming through, big white columns with a roof over top, but it's all open air. There's no walls, only columns conceal the space. And it is this intimate, sort of magically dim lit section with private booths with velvet drapery, plush seating, scantily clad men and women of a younger, more graceful appearance and age. And people sort of drink and smoke and laugh and listen to the flautists and the lute players and the music. And you kind of hear like the laughter and the giggle as they sort of like pretty much every pleasure is being appealed to. Yes, Chaplain.
Yeah, so at this point, as we're passing by that, Chaplain will look at both Ed and Ethereth and say, is that entertaining to either one of you?
I look at like glance over. No.
Not particularly.
Chaplain,
okay.
maybe a quick perception check.
Yep. Ah, that's a natural 20 for a 24.
24, you hear like you hear some like, oh, and everyone kind of like goes for applause, and you're gonna look away, but you can't help but look back as someone's coming out. You see like stepping like into the middle of the room as like a performer, sort of again draped in like very, very lightly clad sort of linen, and like definitely like these long like slits on both of the performers. You see these like two like gold and bronze plated automaton sort of dancers kind of take the middle of the stage. Like one seems to be more female in appearance, the other more male in appearance, but the male one is like, but they're all like shaped like these like beautiful, like almost Herculean statues or like this Venus-esque appearance, very voluptuous. And the two of them like kind of like sing together in these beautiful tones, and they're these just like gorgeous looking automatons that seem to like take the center stage. People kind of whoop and holler as they do this kind of like sort of sexy performance.
Well, that seems fantastic. What about that? Do you guys like that?
Any particular reasons why, Jeff? I mean, Ed says that more knowingly than like actually quizzing.
I'm trying to figure out what kind of acts to book at the Better Medicine.
Oh, you're recruited.
Oh, so, to
Well,
some degree, or at least trying to get ideas, I guess.
we've got time. Why don't we do a sampler? Let's stop by everyone. Get a little bit of all the shows.
I think my
Let's go down the
tastes will
strip.
require a much larger venue than the best medicine. I kind of look over at the giant amphitheater.
Oh. What do you suppose goes on over there, Ethrith?
Can I roll to vote to get take a guess?
What happens in the amphitheater? Sure. Make me like a. Oh, this is tricky. Let's call it like a insight check. Because this is more of a guess based on, yeah. Deduction.
18. Insight.
18. For such a grand amphitheater, like you already saw some sort of like music and dance. You probably don't imagine there's a lot that doesn't go on there, as long as it's of like a high quality. So epic plays, grand musical concerts, displays of like magical entertainment. You imagine that they don't limit what is performed there, so long as that it's quality worthy of the setting.
I mean, the types of performances would vary, but they would all certainly be befitting of a place so large and grand. The production value would be out of this world, really.
Scale-wise, it looks like it might be comfortable for something very exotic, right? The things that the people here would not normally see.
I mean, certainly grand plays, perhaps even contests of strength. I mean, they're quite well versed in using magic as a tool for projection and showing things. So perhaps they may have some displays of an artistic nature. Really, the sky's the limit. This place is huge.
Do you suppose they do it for profit, or do you suppose they do it for entertainment? Like, do you think it's open to the general public without fee?
Take the wild guess. I I'm erring on the side of no. I feel that it's quite possible that those kinds of events are reserved for only the. Then again, it's so big, you can fit so many people in. Surely you could just sort of stroll in. Although tickets might be at a premium, but I don't think they're necessarily reserved for the highest of society.
That's interesting. It's a question that I've been dealing with a lot lately is what's available to everyone and what's available to only those who can pay.
Mm. I suppose it would depend on who you're hiring. I'm sure there's no shortage of independent fringe acts around here. The sort of performances you'd expect in a theater as large as that would be, I don't know, with people with fame, people with reputations, and also, I imagine, done so at the request of someone in power with great haste.
Oh, but that's not a bad idea. So if you had a venue that wasn't quite so grand, though, um, you could maybe split it between the two, right? Paid events for high demand acts, and you know, open open entertainment acts for artists that want to be known.
Every artist has to start somewhere, and I suppose sort of open invitations to anyone who wishing to try their hand and make themselves known is a good starting point. And I mean, as far as the Rock of Brawl is concerned, there is a theater. They put on a play that I have some issues with, but there's somewhere to aim for.
Interesting. I'm gonna give that some consideration. In the meantime, should we go watch Naked Robots?
Oh, me. Ed's still looking around because, like,
By the
Ed's
way,
wondering if they're the only, like, travelers that have stopped here, too. Like, that's something he's keeping in the back of his mind. He's like, that's made while also kind of having, like, a fun day with two of his favorite kids. You know? Like,
Yeah.
yeah. And, but no, that's something he's keeping in mind. So if there's any not shady characters, but like people that match their vibes, like other out of towners. Let's keep an eye for them. Not so much like I would say like an odd like look around or two like there might be more passive than full.
Yeah, maybe a little, just like a whatever, like while they're talking, just kind of like peek around, looking for that. Maybe a little insight check to see if there's anybody around who could be considered foreign.
That's a 10+1 for an 11.
An 11. You look around, everyone seems to generally wear the same thing. There are people who dress a little more professional. Like you see that the guards around do wear um, nicer outfits. Uh, they have like fancy, like the guards wear like very fine armor. They are equipped with like shield and spear and some kind of like very cool looking gun is what they're all equipped with, the guards. Um, the men and women look generally the same in their outfits. There's some people who look more adventurous who, yeah, have armors and various weapons and various qualities. You're a little new to the place to be able to determine like, okay, who's from the planet, who might be from off planet. You're also not sure of the culture. Like you don't know if spelljammers are that. You'd be surprised. But you're not sure like who's like a spelljammer crewman, who's not. So you're still figuring out the difference.
Absolutely, that's a.
There's
So
definitely
like
all
that.
manner of interesting folk to the class.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. So Ed's just kind of enjoying it. He got caught up too much in the philosophy and fun. But yeah, that's where I'm at.
Absolutely. So we'll. It sounds like you guys kind of want to like take a little taste of everything. Is kind of the idea.
On
I
top,
think so.
Ethelith might kind of look around and be like, this is all very elegant and seductive, I suppose, in a kind of nice way. I'm interested to see if there's a darker side to this place. It's also shiny. You understand, don't you, Captain?
I
Everywhere
do,
we go,
absolutely.
it's so pristine and clean.
Very presentable. Uh, Usually, if something's being presented, there's a motive behind it.
Uh, okay, so I'll tell you what. You guys are on the hunt for something a little more down and dirty.
CD.
Uh, so I'll tell you what you guys see as you're kind of like keeping an eye out for something a little bit more on the lower end scale of things. So, yeah, you make your way past. So, as a little note for everything, the Moonlit Stage has many sort of performance posters. You go by, yeah, you guys take a peek in the Velvet Chalice, where, and true to what Etheris says, like, there is absolutely like a sultry element to a lot of performances, but it isn't like explicitly like, sure, there's an eroticism, but it's not like, it's not vulgar. It's very sort of, um, oh, what's the word? Supple. It's very supple. It's very like a respect to beauty rather than like they seem to treat beauty with like a level of respect, and even sexuality with a level of like artistic respect rather than just like like fucking 5 cent hookers off the side of the whatever. Like everyone, they treat it with a great respect. It's very open to that, but again, there is like an artistic respect for it. Um, you guys keep making your way along. Uh, you guys end up seeing a gambling hall. It's this sort of sprawling establishment known as the Starfall's Rest, with mosaic floors, very beautiful. You find this one music hall in town that's a little bit more sort of hole in the wall, kind of like that jazz bar that you might just end up going by, and it's called the Eclipsed Lyre. And they have like a star performer, who they call Orpheus, um, and he's like supposed to be like the master of the like this young, beautiful master of the lyre. Um, there is, and this is, and then you guys see this like definitely more sultry. It seems to be like a temple to this like god of love. There's like just lots of statues of this like voluptuous, naked, beautiful goddess, this Venus, and it's called the Dreamer's Haven, and it seems to be this like tranquil, like high-end bathhouse with many, again, scantily clad musicians and so on and so forth. This is definitely like moving towards the ends of like courtesan experiences and so on. And then we start to get to maybe what you're looking for, Ethrith, where like you kind of move past those two establishments into the like little bit of the sort of like off the main strip, shall we say. And you enter into this like what is essentially like a night market. We'll see that we are heading into the evening where it's starting to like pop up. Is this what they call Faylight Revels? And it's this sort of streets, this promenade with stalls and impromptu stages where exotic spices, roasted treats fill the air. There are performances. There are like lower end, more sort of like raw, dirtier perform. Not dirty, but like more raw, sort of not as classically professionally trained performers of like fire dancers, illusionist jugglers. You get the sense there's definitely an element of like drugs and like alcoholism is a little bit more expressed here. It's a little bit more getting into the lower end. This is like maybe not the face that this city wants to show the world, but it's kind of, it doesn't feel too dangerous if you're careful, especially for you guys. You guys are fine, but like it's definitely getting to be like that off Broadway feel.
Ether instantly starts to like sample the food. Like he sees the stalls and like something and just like realize just like he spent he's just been in like Astral Sea for ages. Like has like a I mean they've like had rations I guess, but like a proper like nice bit of food. It's been a while.
Yeah. You go over, you get some street meat. Hell yeah. Mark off like fucking 5 copper, and he's gonna hand you like a grilled lizard. This one, the first person you come up to, he's like, "Yeah, here, man, here you go, good to see you, dude." And he hands you like this grilled lizard. It's like he's like, don't worry, it's seasoned and everything. Don't worry."
After like just has no issue, just starts eating it. It's like,
Yeah, it tastes pretty good. Like again, it's not doesn't have all that elegant like art, sea fartsy chef whatever. Like it's again, it's just like good street. It tastes pretty good.
I usually aim for the finer things in life, and yet here feels somewhat more my speed. Strange.
Let your wings flap, my friend. Yeah, I think you've earned it at the You've had we've had quite a time. So if anything we get out of here is a well rested, ready to go at the Rift, that's a good enough win for me.
Uh, the guy who sold you the lizard goes, "Hey, my friends, you see all more coin, you know to do it. Listen, go down the street, go talk to my friend. You tell him I sent you. My name is Koyas. You're going to talk to Themius. He has an awesome stall of one-time single-use potions. Very fun. All kinds of different effects. Wings, night vision. Look like a different race. All sorts of things. You'll love it. You'll love it. But one-time, quick uses, but very exciting, very fun. Trust me. You go down. I'm Koyas. Talk to my friend Themius. We'll hook you up real good.
Thanks for the tip. I will look to Ed though. I'm kind of like, if those potions are anything like mine, I do not have the coin to afford such things, but we can peruse if you wish.
No, my friend, They're one-time uses. They're very common, not expensive, very cheap. Don't worry.
Then I'm intrigued. I'll go see this mysterious potion seller.
You go down the street. You find this guy sort of standing in an alley with like all of these like robes over him. He goes, "What are you buying, stranger?"
I'd like to see. I'd like to see what your wares. Koi sent me over.
Right, yeah. And he like opens up his robe. He's got like all these potions along the inside of his robe. And he goes, "Yeah, no, it's each dose, 5 gold. 5 gold for dose. You pay."
Yeah, I heard you have a shape-shifting one. How are those? Give me a little bit of a rundown.
Okay, yeah, it depends what you want. Are they all very transportational based? Yes. You want to look like a different race?
No, it's not for me. It's for a friend. I
Yeah,
have
what
a
do you want to
feeling
turn them
that.
into, you sick fuck, huh? What do you want to turn them into, huh?
No, it's not like that. I have a friend that.
Don't worry, I tell nobody. I don't know your name, nothing. It's all good.
Regarding the story. No, I have a friend who I feel that if she knows she looks different, she might have herself a day too. So I need something
You want to
efficient
turn her
and
into
safe.
a man, huh? You sicko.
For, for the sake of conversation, let's say yes. Something of a safe transfer that they're guaranteed to know they're protected.
Well, is he showing like all the potions? I mean, I'm an alchemist. Can I like
Uh,
see what each one is just by like examining it?
You can, I mean, like just by like eyeballing them,
Yeah.
and yeah, you can try. It's a little bit more difficult from just like an eyeball because they're just liquid, but you can certainly tell if they're like authentically magic or whatever in some properties. So go ahead and make
Yeah.
me let's call it a nature or investigation check, and I'll give you advantage. It's the tool proficiency.
See what we get. Well, good thing there's advantage because that would have been really, really scary. That's a 10 though.
A 10. You look at them, and by the way that like the bubbles sort of float around and the coloration, you're certain that these are indeed magical, but they're like very low powered magic. Like they're more for like a fun entertainment-y kind of thing than like so they're like common potions essentially. They're sort of like one shot transmutative is what you're getting out of them.
Hmm. Hmm.
He goes, all right, so okay, tell me, all right, so is this you want to do like a gender swap? You want to do a specific race? You want to leave it to chance? What do you want, huh?
Let's do a specific race.
Okay, you want to turn her into a human woman?
Well, I suppose they would have to choose that. You know what? I might need this myself. This could be a tactical to
It only lasts for a little bit, but it works. It works. You want her to be an ugly woman? Or you want...
yeah. How about this? I can't decide. What would be the funny one? Like Ed turning
you want to make
into
her very, very big woman like dump truck, my friend?
put this guy away, Ryan. What would be funny? We're all a bunch of freaks, right? Except Arendelle. Arendelle's like an elf guy.
Okay. Oh, you want to be elf? Yeah. You want
Normal
to be
man. Normal man.
normal man. What do you mean normal? We're all different.
Just man in his 30s, undistinguishable haircut.
I mean, like it's only so I can't be that specific. I mean, but here, okay, yeah. It goes, all right. Here you go. This is for human man. It's anyone's guess what kind of human man. But if you want to pay a premium, you could be a beautiful man, huh?
What's the premium?
Just double 10 gold.
10 gold. Fine. Here is 30 gold for 3 human men.
Okay, pretty sexy human man for you. Yeah, it's low for you.
I'm taking that from my personal stock.
Got it. He goes, all right, enjoy. Yeah. Tell your friends about me, man. Yeah, what do you want to be, eh? You want to go? Oh, you want wings? You want wings to go with that dragonborn body, yeah?
I can already. I have wings of my own. Thank you very much.
Oh, cool! Very cool.
How about a GIF? You know, if you have you ever seen a GIF?
The big fucking hippos? You want to be big fat hippo?
That's awful.
Yeah, I don't judge, man. You do whatever you got to do, man. Yeah. I hook you up. Here you go. And he'll
Just-
like, do you want to be sexy hippo, man?
Just hand the potion over. No, I just give
Okay,
him
that's
the gold.
He gives you one for 5 gold.
That's a choice.
I'm telling you, man, you could be hippo with abs. I'm just saying.
Right.
All right, 5 gold.
Is that all that there? If you think there's anything more we can choose here?
I've just about reached my limit with this fellow.
Oh, good night. You come back. Let me have a good time, huh?
You take care, friend.
Yeah, you come back. I got all kinds of stuff, you know. If you rabbit ears, man,
Start
shit.
walking away.
As soon as I'm here, I'm just looks at Ed, it's like, truly the embodiment of I can't be racist if I just offend everyone.
Well, can't say it's a pretty good deal. What kind of human man is in here after? Wait, if he put on double, they're gonna be hot. He's gonna turn into like Ryan. We're all gonna turn into Ryan Gosling for a little bit.
Just turn into Ken's.
Yeah.
He goes, yeah, you like that, right? You're back for more.
Oh no.
That's how they.
man.
I'm afraid that's how they get you, Ed. They tell you that if you pay double, it's going to be a beautiful version of representation of their species, but it's sort of uncanny.
That's how they always get you.
Like
I was
That's
no,
just a
hoping,
little too
no,
big.
no one, no real person is ever that symmetrical.
absolutely. It's no, just doesn't work out that way.
And
We all look like Brad Pitt, but we have bad hygiene.
There's always a trick. I didn't. I like this guy. You guys better talk to him again. He's my favorite.
no,
Oh,
I'm gonna
shit.
make him appear. He's gonna be around every corner. Like, yeah!
like a encrypted, just like, oh yeah, the potion seller guy. There's only one of him. Just one.
Yeah, I'm
They're,
everywhere, man.
they're all the same guy.
No, we're
Yes,
jumping
yes.
on this.
There's
Dude,
one
you
in
must have
every.
met my twin.
There's one in every corner, but they're all the same guy.
Yeah, what
Like a
quad
Starbucks.
triplets. Yeah. Oh my god.
Never have we needed a break more than right now.
Yeah, let's take our break. Yeah, it's break time. We'll take a break. We'll be back in a little bit. Oh shit. Sorry about
Well, started to enjoy that there.
that. Don't know where that came. I also Spotify. Yes. Oh yeah, that was Spotify. We get started once our adventurers return to chat. That was my song. Waiting on Chaplin in the sun. We'll give him 2 more minutes. Let's start.
I wonder if Mason's allergy medicine's caught up to
Yeah. What's the situation?
him.
There we go.
Yeah, guys, I'm sorry about that. There was one point where my nose was completely stopped up and I could not inhale through my nose. So
Sucks.
I apologize if I'm a little lethargic
Oh,
right now.
you're good. You're totally good. Totally good. Excuse me. All right. Well, why don't we hop to it? So here's what we'll say. You guys begin to leave or move through at least the Phalite Revels. We'll say Chaplin wanders off to go watch that show with those two robot people. Just really briefly, he'll be back soon. As you guys are exiting the Phalite Revels, you see Basan and Arendelle walking down the street, looking like they've just bludgeoned the shit out of each other. Because they have. Oh no, you guys went. No. We gotta take it back. Sorry, you guys went into the woods. Never mind, you went in the opposite direction. So, no. We'll catch up with you with all that in a minute. But, Basan, you rolled very well. And you follow the path into the wood, leaving the cityscape behind you. You guys travel for like about 10 minutes till you get to the forest edge and into the forest a little whiles. And it doesn't take too long. Nothing random comes to befall you, but you come upon this altar in the wood. It is this like very simple marble altar. It's really more just like a slab of marble in the middle of the wood in front of this tall tree. And there's varying offerings left upon it of skins, of bushels of arrows, childhood dolls, lots of little toys, like little girl toys. Surprisingly, there's also a small brass brazier flame that is lit and going, and you'll see the little fox is just kind of curled up at like the foot of the altar, is having a snooze.
Is there any markings around the altar or symbols?
Yeah, I think so. Why don't you make me an investigation check?
That'll be a 19.
19. Yeah, you get a little closer, and the tree behind the altar does have like kind of somewhat crudely carved into it, maybe with like a dagger or something like that. It says, "Hail the huntress, protector of women. goddess of the sun, of the moon.
Okay. Would I have any knowledge of this pantheon in any way?
Make me a religion check.
Yeah. 15?
15. We established that Arendelle knows a little bit about the Pantheon. 15 is enough. I will say that you know the name of this goddess is Artemis. She is considered a virgin goddess of the hunt, daughter of the chief of the gods, Zeus. And she represents the moon, darkness, the night, and she sort of is a protector of young girls and their passage into womanhood.
So could I make a connection? So obviously Twilight Rider, the moon, and that they are sort of similar in that way?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. I will take a few bows out, place them on the altar, and I'll just bow my head and say a little prayer of thanks.
Fair enough. You do so. Absolutely. And you, my friend, will be the proud bearer of the Hunter's Mark spell for the rest of the day.
So, Lisanne is going to go up to Archie. Go
Yeah.
nuzzle him
He sort of
awake.
comes to wake and he kind of like lets out that big sort of like super wide mouth fox yawn and sees you and kind of like yips happily. And kind of like unfolds himself and comes up to you happily.
You do not speak common, and this is not logical. I don't know how this will go, but you should be in the woods, and I understand if you want to stay.
He just kind of sits there and looks at you and kind of does like the dog head tilt a little bit, like doesn't know what you're saying, but he's definitely trying to understand what you're saying.
So she's going to open up her bag. Actually, she's going to put her bag down, and using her telekinesis, she's going to open the bag and pull out sheets of paper and make 3 origami animals: a goat, a fox, and a dragon. And we'll put them on the altar, but she'll sit and she's kind of doing all 3 of them at the same time because it's been a practice, but she'll sit and do this practice and put them on the altar and give Archie a scratch and a quick little bow, and then we can leave. And if he chooses to come, then he chooses.
You walk away, you keep your head straight and don't look back so as not to tempt the creature to follow you. You leave these on the altar an offering, and similarly, you will be provided the Hunter's Mark spell. The goddess looks favorable upon your offering. Then you walk, and your companions presumably follow you. And once you've gotten far enough away, you look back, and you see the little orange Archie just kind of like trailing after you.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
Well, it doesn't look like we need to find a new pet then, Lisanne. Looks like Archie wants to stay.
She's kind of like nods. We should get food.
Yes.
And she's gonna look at she's gonna look at Saeed and said, "It's not because you need it. It tastes good. It's fun."
Yeah. Okay, fine. And you guys will, wander in the city, grab a little food. At a certain point, there will be a point where Said stops and happiness hits his face as you do see that as you enter the entertainment district to go find your friends, there is you see this grand amphitheater, and at the front of the amphitheater you see these two just Schwarzenegger, Herculean, muscular dudes, doing all this posing, and then they kind of go into wrestling pose, and then they start wrestling, and he's like, I didn't watches with interest as this combat goes down for a moment. You kind of all watch this show as they kind of grapple each other, and then that will end, and one of them will win. And I will say at that point, sort of coming out of the back, coming out from between the buildings from off Broadway, you'll see the rest of your friends stuffing little conspicuous potion vials in their pockets, and maybe looking a little shady. And Chaplin goes, "Yeah, I'm just gonna go check out this. I'll be right back." He runs across the street to the Automaton Tavern.
I'll be heading
research.
to that bathhouse. I feel as if it's been almost months since I've had a chance to bathe, and dirt gets under my scales.
Oh, you enjoy yourself, Arthur. I'm gonna keep looking around, see if I find any Spelljammer. I haven't really seen any of us. We can't be the only one. The only tourist here. I don't wait by.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before Etherith goes, I will ask him for the Ori, and I'll say I'm going to go and try and find if we can have this updated or maybe get it a little bit better for this area and find some maps, maybe.
About the table, is that necessary? I know that when we arrived, I did do a quick scan of the system, so I have the Ori sort of working.
Yeah, I'll say that and you were traveling for I'll say that the Ori's largely been put up, especially with the information you got at that tavern. The Ori's largely it knows at least the basic planetary systems in their names.
Yeah.
I just thought because of that, what happened last week, I thought we might have needed maybe an update, but that's fine.
I mean, as far as maps go, I suppose having maps of the general, of the planet would be helpful.
Well, depending on how long we're going to be on this planet, on what other planets we need to go to, it'll be helpful. So yeah, I shall make that a priority.
Very well. Anything else, or
No.
What?
Brian, is there also somewhere that would sell something like messaging, earrings of messaging, or rings, or something like that?
You can certainly go look at. You head back towards the market district and take a look around. Yeah.
Okay. So just have a look for both of them things then.
Sure. Okay, so since we've got a couple of objectives, Arendelle is looking for some sending stuff. What's everybody else doing? And you're going to look for basically the spell jamming.
Yeah.
Yeah, understood.
There's this, and
Okay. Etherith, Basan, did you guys have something you wanted to do?
Ether's going to the bathhouse you mentioned earlier.
Right, right. The bathhouse,
Yep.
fantastic. And Basan, where are you off to?
Bison wants to try to find the mage community if there is one.
Absolutely, no problem. Cool. I'm just gonna roll dice, see who goes first. Do her that way. And so it is you, Basan. You're gonna go looking for the mage community, and very quickly you are indeed going to be turned in the direction of scrolling. Yeah, oh yeah, bosses. Where the party just was. Here we are. Yeah, you get directed to the Lumina Agora, where you are going to see. And Saeed just kind of follows you around, Basan. Just like a little boredly, but like there is like there's a fair amount of like physical competition that goes on, and that's the thing that seems to draw his greatest interest.
We
And you
can
do
we
go to
can
the
if that seems to be drawing his interest, we can stop at whatever piques his interest most.
yeah. Uh, I will say that like that. Yeah, like he'll like peek into a couple of places, but like we'll move on to the Lumina Agora. We'll say that like the wrestling event kind of ended, but like he's on the prowl for it, and if anything comes up, we'll definitely stop him there. But that one sort of wrestling match gets replaced by the next show. So you get to the Lumina Agora, where in the artisans' quarters, where you see like wizards and intellectuals and spellcasters meet to, where it is very much like a sage's school, and they discuss like theology, the arcana, mathematics, arithmetic and arcana, and spellcasters seem to thrive in this particular quarter, in this particular place. Same description as before. It's got the silverleaf oak tree, the gold lotus blossom, and the dusk fern vines sort of seem to be the three separations, various buildings around where different events are occurring. There's a place called the Hall of Reflection, whatever that is, and there's a tower. It's called the Tower of Parallax, which seems to have a slender spire accessible by a spiraling staircase. A number of strange attractions around
here. The place with the spire staircase.
Okay, fantastic. You guys go up the tower. Luckily, you're both in great shape. It's a bit of a walk. But you make your way up the spiraling staircase to the apex of the tower, where you enter into this space where it is a crystal hemispherical dome that sits atop the tower and looks out over the entire city and beyond to the nature beyond where you were just recently. And it's like this wide, beautiful landscape, truly a gorgeous setting. The city itself is a beautiful example of civilization, and the surrounding countryside has hills and valleys and forests that are breathtaking, especially here at twilight. And within, you see many of these philosopher mages. They are seemingly they're all sort of meditating, and there's like a group of them to the side who are kind of talking very quietly so as not to disturb the meditators, but seem to be like almost like waiting for something. They've got a number of scrolls and they're comparing things. They've got these like orbs. Actually, they've got orreries now that you notice it. Like a couple of them have orreries. And they're just kind of like all talking and waiting very quietly. But it seems to be this like expansive meditative chamber that has a gorgeous view of the sky and the country around.
So, like, meditating kind of in the same way that the monks were meditating?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I think she's going to approach the group of people around the Ori.
Sure. Yeah, there's a couple of them that have their own orreries and various scrolls and whatnot, and they're talking quietly, and you sort of approach them. They see you approach. This one sort of half-elven woman with like long brown hair says, "Good afternoon, traveler. You're a scholar? Are you interested in astronomy?"
I am learning things. I'm looking to learn things about magic and the like.
Maybe persuasion check.
14 even.
14 even. Like a number of them continue to like carouse with their own little friend groups, but the person who talked to you and their seeming friends are like, well, it's always good to have new scholars who are interested to learn. We're just waiting for the sun to go down, the stars to come out, and we were going to study the celestial movements. We're studying some very interesting phenomena in the cosmos lately. If you'd like to observe with us.
And she nods.
And sure enough, after like half an hour, the sun's gone down. Those that were sort of meditating, like, kind of pack up and leave. And then these people kind of enter the middle, and it's kind of like open forum where they kind of like walk around, look at the stars, and take notes on their pads of paper, and like use their orreries and speak. And this one woman will introduce herself. She'll say, "Oh, my name is Hekabi, by the way. It's good to meet you."
I am Bisan. The quiet, brooding one is Saeed.
"Good to meet you, Saeed." He sort of just like this is like he's like so like just gets right. Holy shit! Like that's what his face says. But she's like, "It's good to meet you." And he goes, "Yes, so we are observing. Explain." And she has one of her friends explain. Essentially, they lay out that they're tracking the celestial bodies to sort of understand the prophecies of the gods, specifically the sun god Apollo, and they're looking for signs of Apollo through his twin Artemis, the goddess of the moon and the night sky. And they begin to explain that, and Hecate says, "But we've been tracking this one constellation that's changed some, and it's conjecture, and we're still looking into it, but there is some belief that there is a demigod. Some people here believe that there is actually a demigod of either Artemis or Apollo here in the city at this very moment. It's what we're believing the stars are telling us. The idea that Artemis has a demigod is ridiculous. She's a virgin goddess, which means, logically, there might be a demigod of Apollo, which would be incredible. We have not seen to meet a demigod. Magnificent. Never to be. The implications are incredible." And she talks with great passion regarding this, and they all sort of talk about this, and they're reading the stars, and they all seem very, very into their theory that a demigod of Apollo walks among them, and they're trying to learn more from the stars.
And at some point, she'll sit back with Saeed and say, "I've seen your mages. They're impressive. There's a connection between the arcane and our other abilities. I'm trying to figure it out, but if you want to fight that badly, we can step outside." And she just smiles at him.
It's better than listening to them prattle. I've seen their statue of their beloved Apollo god. He's a dainty child. I would kill his son easily.
Okay. Start with me. And she just heads downstairs.
It's like a giant fucking silver greatsword and heads outside, and everybody, like all the scholars, are like, shit, like what's going down over there? Yeah, and you guys start walking down the spiral staircase till you get to the bottom. And you and Saeed can begin if you wish. He goes,
Which sword is he using?
he's using the giant silver greatsword.
Well, fuck it. Shovel or Sunblade.
All right. You pull out the Sunblade. He goes, finally, I'm bored. Roll me a initiative.
That's not gonna be great. God,
What'd you get?
you know something? I have a spell for this. That doesn't matter because I didn't use it, but I'm frustrated. It's a 17.
A 17's really good. You'll go first.
Just gift of alacrity. Just keeps forgetting to actually cast it at the beginning of the day.
I got you.
Like a big silly person. So, all right. She gets a I think I've got a +8 to hit. Yeah, I do. All right. I know I keep having to check this. So she's got a 22 and a 17 to hit.
22 and a 17 will. The 22 will hit. The 17 will not hit his plate armor. What? Sorry, 22. You said?
Mhm.
Yeah, that'll hit.
And because she knows that he can take it, she's going to psi empower this one too.
All right.
No, he can play rough. She was worried about hurting Arendelle. She's not worried about hurting Saeed. All right, so that is 14 plus 4 with the psi empowered stuffs, and I got to mark that off.
For a total of
18, please.
18. All right. You sort of and like kind of preemptively come off the bat and like slash him pretty good, and then the other one sort of misses and kind of crashes across his armor, but sort of takes it. He kind of like cocks an eyebrow at your like aggressiveness. He goes, "What would your get the right teachers think about your aggressiveness?"
She just smiles. I have my head.
He kind of like puts his hand out and kind of like points up in the air. Make me a strength check. Just a flat strength check here.
Okay, flat strength check. 19.
19, very good. You will feel this energy sort of grasp around you and begins to lift you into the air, but you manage to like just push a little psionic power out of you to kind of resist for the moment his own psionic abilities. And he will sort of keep that up and see how long I can keep that up for. And he kind of like waves.
Nice.
Your turn.
Was there any damage with that?
Nope.
All right.
Not exactly sure what he was doing just yet.
No, I am not, which, doesn't worry me at all. Oh, we'll keep it simple for the time being. That is an 18 and a 19 to hit.
He is going to swing the greatsword around and parry the first of the two attacks, but the second one does land.
Cool. So that will be a 8, and I'll go ahead and psi power that one too. So that is a 13 total. I'll mark that dot off.
13 total. Understood. He swings the greatsword around, blocks it, and then he pushes his hand out in front of him at your chest. Make me another strength check.
Oh, that ain't gonna do it. That is a 12.
The first one was kind of like almost like an elevation one, so you're kind of able. It was like kind of like sort of gathering, so you kind of like were able to push past it. But this is just like a wall of telekinetic force that just like hits you like a wall. And he is going to basically like blast you 30 feet into the air. And then you're just like sort of, and then that wall like wraps around you and restrains you as you like float in midair. And he goes, "You want to learn about psionics? You want to learn about the power of our people? Blacketh knows all."
Is it back to me?
It is back to you.
Sweet.
You are considered restrained as you are held up in the air.
Is he like actually levitating right now? Is that what I'm saying?
He is not. You are.
Oh, sweet.
He's like force grip situation up there.
No.
You
We're
can
fine.
use your action to attempt to break free if you wish.
Oh, yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Is that a strength check?
I'm just checking real quick. The creature in range must be around or choose one times. Contest with the creature through. Oh no, sorry, I don't think you can resist it. My apologies. Until the end of his next turn, you are restrained in the grip. So unless you got like something to do while restrained, he's just gonna hold you up there.
Oh, if he's just holding me, all right, I'll just sit here for a second.
Yeah, you just kind of float there. He says, "Surrender to the will of Blacketh, and I will release you."
She just looks at him. Could we just spar without the, theology?
And he just kind of releases his grip, and you will fall down to the ground. Maybe a little athletics check.
That is an 18.
18 is just shy of a 20 DC, and you're gonna take 4 points of bludgeoning damage and land prone. And as he does so, he is going to cast with his psionics. Basically, his body begins to like reverberate with psionic energy, making it hard to like look at him. And that'll be that. It's your turn.
Sweet. How many people are around us?
Quite a few. There's a group of individuals like watching you all, and I imagine you two are speaking Gith, so you're all like,
yeah.
And they're like, "Ooh, aliens fighting. Sure, let's watch this."
To be clear, Bisan is like openly. He's very intense. She's openly enjoying herself. Like she's having fun.
Yeah.
Oddly enough.
Yeah. You don't know much about him, but he might be openly enjoying him, or at least he might think he looks like he's openly enjoying him. So you don't know, or maybe he's very serious. He's a little.
He's broody.
He's
He's
broody.
very
No, I
he's,
get it. It's
he's
fine.
very Gith Yankee.
Yeah, no. He's bless his little heart. All right. Well, do I think? Oh, but it is only a 10-foot. All right. Can I isolate him in a 10-foot sphere?
Yeah.
Sweet, magnify gravity.
Magnify gravity. Good God. Never heard of that one. That's cool.
Yeah, the gravity in a 10-foot sphere is centered on a point you can see within range. He's going to have to make a Constitution saving throw that, if he fails, is 2d8 of force damage, and his speed is halved. Otherwise, half damage and no reduction.
I am pretty sure he fails with an 11.
Yes.
Yep, suddenly you... I will say, because you haven't had your subclass yet, you haven't quite translated these new powers into psionics yet. So you call on the power of wizardry, of arcane, and create. While it is an arcane incantation, it is still a psionic power. And in this moment, you begin to create a crushing zone of energy.
It does 5 points of damage.
All right, 5 points of damage. But whatever that vibrating thing was, you kind of caught him off guard, and he sort of re-solidifies as that psionic power goes down.
And she will stand up with her movement. And also, I believe I have a bonus action to second wind because I hadn't healed up from that last fight. That might be important. Oopsie. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and
no problem. All right, is that the end of your turn?
That is the end of my turn. Thank you.
He will sort of growl and sort of disappear into like a well of like psionic mist and appear in front of you. And we'll bring up the great sword and go to attack a couple of times. First one is only a 13. Sails by. Second attack. Oh my god, that is gone. The dice is gone. Next one is going to be a 15 to hit.
Neither will hit.
Hit, man, it's rolling real low. He swings around you, but you manage to avoid. Go ahead, take your turn.
Oh wow, that is a nat 20.
Oof.
Yeah, that's the second one tonight, which I was not expecting.
Nice.
You know, lovely. Let me go back and do that. So that the base on that is 17 plus 13. Is that 30?
17 plus 13 is 30.
Okay, so 30. And then the other shot was a 9 that she's going to go ahead and psi empower.
Ooh.
To give an extra 3, so 12.
So 42 points of damage.
That is correct.
Yeah, he like swings, and I'll say in this moment of like I don't know, the psionic power basically like guides you. The will of the astral sea kind of guides your hand in that moment. You kind of go for this like under the blade uppercut slash across his chest that like gets right between the plates and just like carves like a chunk out of the side of him. And you kind of like almost samurai end up on the other side with the blade pointed away. He like drops to a knee as you've like just laser cut through half of his thigh, or his his midsection, and sort of like spits up blood on the ground, and kind of, and will sort of look at the cut and look back at you and kind of like grit his teeth angrily.
She'll sit back. She'll actually pull her sword back and say, Chaplain can put you back together. I can change swords. We can stop.
He lunges at you with ferocity.
Nice.
and anger and ferocity. The 11 does miss. Just not rolling good, but finally we find ourselves at a 25 to hit.
Oh, that, yes.
Yes. Okay, this is going to be a couple of d6s.
Oh, all right. I expected you to roll like 30 because you said a couple.
Oh, no, not 30. Jesus Christ. No, not quite 30. 4, 8, 12. That's going to be 14 points. Oh, shit. Some of this is psionic. Psychic damage. I should have done that right. Okay, so the first damage was 4, 8. So that's 12 slashing damage. And the others would have been 4. I don't remember the number too well. I'm just going to roll the last dice. 4 plus 2. That's going to end up being 6 psychic damage, which becomes 3 for you. And that'll be his turn.
All right. Let's see what else I got here. So he's looking pretty rough right now.
He is not quite bloodied. Like he's you're not 20 cut through him and he's spat up blood for flavor.
Oh, but he's
like,
fine.
But as for his posture and his stance and everything, it's as strong as he started the battle with.
I love that for both of us. Both miss. That's a 2 and a 3 on a dice. I'm not even. They both miss.
Yeah, he starts to get that you. He's a little taller than you, so he gets that you like to aim for like the mid. So he kind of like, as it comes in, he kind of like buckles in, sort of defending his mid more, and you kind of cut the armor this time, and then he's going to swing around with the great sword at you again. 16, which I believe doesn't hit, and 25, which will
absolutely hits.
It's going to be, I'll get it right this time. It's going to be 10 slashing damage and 11 reduced to 5 psychic damage. And that's his turn.
All right, that is a dirty 20 and a 14, which I'm sure misses.
First one, he uses reaction to parry away your blade with the sword. You guys kind of clash swords, and then the other swipe goes around. He jumps out of the way in time. Comes in with his 2 slashes. Fucking can't roll too well. Good rolls in 1 round for his life. That's going to be a 15, which will miss, and a 23, which I believe will hit.
Hold on, because I may parry that one. The parry adds 3 to my DC. What did you say it was? 23 to hit? Nope,
Yep.
That hits.
All right, 23. You managed to bring the blade around just before you can get your blade in the way. It's going to be 10 slashing damage. And then 9 reduced to 4 psychic damage.
All right.
All right, we'll do one more round, and this will kind of determine where we land with what the fight's like. So go ahead and take another round.
Perfect. That is a 24 to hit.
Oh yeah.
And a 19 to hit.
Parry that one. Ching. Go ahead and take that damage for the first one.
Da 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 da. Da, 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 boo. So that is a 15. She'll Psi Empower it, which is going to add the 3 for 18 damage.
18 damage, got it. Oh, never mind. It's fine. He's resistant to psychic as well. I forgot about that. The psychic. It's fine. It's not a big deal. It's fine. It's not a big deal.
It's been little bits of magic.
Yeah, he's bloodied as of now, so we're fine.
So is she.
Yep.
So is she. They're both bloodied.
Next attack is 17, which I believe doesn't hit against your armor class.
That will not hit.
And the next one is a whopping 26 to hit.
Yeah, that's going to hit even with a shield.
So that's going to be 7 slashing damage. And 15 reduced to 7 psychic damage.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Everybody will beat up. So everyone watches this display of like alien ferocity, fun, and maybe the fact that like I think Saeed has that like truly horrifying expression where like he's getting the shit, like he's dealing his good blows, but he's getting cut up and beat up and whatever, and he's like grinning like menacingly through it. And you are grinning menacingly through it as well. So you two are just locked in this like to the death battle with like a laser sword and a razor sharp psionic silver blade. And people are like, holy shit, as they're watching this like truly gladiatorial contest in the middle of the street. And there's like some guards around who are like not sure if they need to step in or not. But they don't. You two seem to be enjoying yourselves way too much for this to be broken up. And apparently contests of strength are legal. It's just a matter of this is a contest of strength or if you're trying to actually kill each other. And at a certain point, we'll say, because you guys do pretty evenly. There's one point where you both like come in for this mutual over the head swing, and you both stop like short of each other's like throats, where you could have both been decapitated in that moment. But it just like spikes the adrenaline to that like sort of like climax of excitement of like where death is like an inch away from either one of you, and you guys both just kind of understand the contest is over and it'll be considered a draw for the time being. And you both step away like cut up. Like you're missing like tips of your ear and your fingers, and he's got like laser burns through his like stomach and arms, and both of you literally look like you come out of a war zone, but are like grinning ear to ear. And everyone's like, yeah. No, what am I talking about? It's like ancient Greece. They're like, yeah, this fucking, yeah! People are like losing their mind because they haven't seen this kind of spectacle in a while. And the guards are like, move along. And and Saeed goes, much better than looking at stars and celebrating dainty boys.
It's not so bad.
Good Sarai.
You've had your fight. Quit bitching.
We should drink now.
We should drink now.
Yeah.
We're gonna go find a bar to drink at. I will second it.
Yep, you guys both limp off to the nearest watering hole. Walk in bloody and, well, you bloody, him cauterized, to like the nearest watering hole, and they're like, yeah, sure, shit, take what you want. You both just start drinking some painkiller back heavily. And we will swap around whoever's next. Gonna do. Oh, I'll ask Chaplain. Where were you headed? The party kind of split up in every direction. Is there anywhere you wanted to go, my friend? You did.
No, not particularly. He just wanted to see the entertainment district and again just kind of scout out at what people found entertaining. He's
Got it.
looking for ideas for the club. Outside of that, he wants to show up at the philosophers discussion later on in the evening.
Okay.
If we're still in that day, but he other than that, he doesn't have anything specific going on.
Understood. Understood. So let me roll a dice. We'll see who goes next. And it seems it is indeed you, Chaplain, according to D4. So you go hunting around the Twilight Promenade. You'll see the same stuff: the moonlit stage, the Velvet Chalice, this gambling hall, Starfall Rest. And you're looking for things for your tavern, so you're probably going into similar establishments, so similar sort of performative establishments. Um, I'll give you a list of the different establishments, and you can decide what will sort of be your greatest interest to you. There is the Velvet Chalice, which you've seen before, is this sort of cabaret style, magical, plush-seated, luxury, performance drinking hall.
Sure.
There's the gambling hall, and an establishment of opulence and mystique with mosaic constellations on the floors and card tables and dice games and magical gambling. There is the Eclipsed Lyre, which is, again, it's sort of like a lower-end music hall, drinking hole tavern. There is the Dreamer's Haven, which is this very supple bathing hall that Etherith went into, with lots of sort of attractive sights, both of marble and of flesh. There's this place called the Prism Arcade, which seems to be like this magic hole, which is like a bunch of games that are based on magic. So it seems to be exclusively for magic users or people interested in magic, and it's sort of games based on that. And last would be probably the nicest place in the entire district, sort of floating above the district, kind of floating around over top of it, is what you would be told is called the Skyvale Soiree, which is essentially a floating ballroom that suspends by magic above the entertainment district, and guests are ferried to the venue for a night of enchanted opulence, lavish masquerade dancing, and sort of a mystique-based, drink and party.
I
What
think probably
appeals to you?
Yeah, I think probably the Lyre.
Okay. Excellent. You look at the Lyre, the one seems to be the one to go to. And you will find your way within. There we go. Okay. What happened to my screens? There they are. Oh, no, they're back. Okay, cool. Sorry about that. You enter into the hall. There we go. Alright. Just getting out a little bit of music here to match the scene. You walk into this, everything's very open forum, but this one's actually a little more enclosed, a little bit more of what you're used to when it comes to taverns. And oh, that was very loud. I'm sorry. You enter into this hall where it's a combination between sort of ancient Greek aesthetics and almost like a dingy sort of coffee house jazzy experience, where there is this single stage where you see this young man with tassels of blonde hair, in a very short white single-shouldered tunic with a golden lyre on his lap. And he plays the most gorgeous, haunting melody from his lyre, just like a master of strings. He himself would be what probably these fleshy people consider to be beautiful, but
Yeah.
His music is gorgeous, and the entire hall is, with their drinks, sitting enchanted by the music.
Oh.
To give some mechanical perspective, he's rolling like 26 for his performance, and there's some people who look truly like glamored and charmed by the music, maybe even in a magical way by the performance of this like young man who sits and just plays the lyre with a melody that is entrancing like never you've heard before.
All right. Well, I would sit and just listen to it for a while and kind of watch the crowd and try to appreciate the music. And then I suppose after at some point when he takes a break, I would try to approach the young man.
Absolutely, you do not wait for very long. They listen raptly to the beautiful tones and rhythms of the song. Some people forget they even have a glass in their hand. Others do sort of quietly sip, but all conversation is halted with his performance. And as the song comes to its natural end, there is rapt applause. There's a couple of people, men and women, in tears at the song, and he steps off the stage. You approach him again. He's like this sort of lithe, thin, clean, completely clean shaven, tussles of blonde hair. He has these like deep golden hazel eyes, and you manage to get a word in with him as between the compliments that he's receiving. And he looks at you curiously. You don't know if there's any auto gnomes in this system, but he looks at you curiously, and he says, "Good evening. Who might you be?"
I'm sorry. What was his race again? Is he half elf or elf?
He's human.
Human. Oh, okay. Hi, my name's Chaplin, and I'm not from this plane, but that was amazing. Is that magical?
He smiles and he says, "It is a little bit of magic, only a little for some, but mostly of my own talents."
Oh, well, certainly no judgment here. Everybody seemed to enjoy it, and that's what's most important. Um, do you reside here?
I travel. I come and go, play where they let me play, which is wherever I want.
I see. Have you ever been to the astral plane or the astral sea?
I haven't had the pleasure as of yet. I'm sorry. What was your name?
Oh, hi. My name's Chaplin, and I'm a Glitterbright. I am a priest of mirth, and I happen to have a little entertainment establishment, something like this, and I'm sort of on the patrol across the cosmos to see if I can find the things that entertain people, and yours seem most intriguing.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you for saying this. You must have quite an establishment if you're seeking talent across the plains, or dare I say that your plane just doesn't have a lot of talent to it.
Well, both of those actually. Honestly, we're just getting started, and I'm trying to gather things that are different for the people there. To be honest, it's sort of a rough crowd. It's not a group of people that are actively seeking out entertainment. It's not a group of tourists or anything like that. They're more hardworking folks in a place that doesn't allow their lives a lot of luxury. And so I'm trying to introduce that. So they don't actually know exactly what they're looking for yet. But like I said, I'm trying to introduce that to them. So things that are exotic, things that are remarkable, seem to appeal to them. I have this wonderful bartender who makes these fabulous, very extravagant drinks. And that seems to be working out well. But we could probably do a little better on the entertainment side.
Man, I am flattered for the offer. Maybe I'll stop by if I find myself in gnome space.
Absolutely. Again, my name is Chaplin, and my establishment is on the Rock of Brawl. It's a tiny little place, a satellite of another planet. Might be hard to find this in the entire Astral Sea, but there's some people who know me around the Astral Sea, so if you're looking for Chaplin, people might be able to push you in the right direction. Uh, you know, maybe if you find yourself in our area at some point, you could come in and do a guest performance.
That would be interesting. I don't like to be tied down too much. I receive plenty of offers, but now I just like seeing new places. So I appreciate the offer. Maybe I'll make my way there soon.
Well, either way, whether or not we see each other again, it was a pleasure to meet you, and it was absolutely my honor to have witnessed your performance. It was very moving. Thank you.
I am odious. That is my name.
Odious. Nice to meet you, Odious.
Nice to meet you. So I'm just curious. You come here to Great Space purely seeking talent.
Oh, no. No. I I have to be honest, it's a little bit more humble than that. I work on board a ship. I'm a bosun. I help fix the ship up. I'm a service gnome after all. But as I said, I'm also a glitterbright, and I work in the service to a god who values entertainment and mirth. And as such, it's kind of, let's call it my hobby or my second job or my personal life, to seek out things that genuinely entertain people. In the meantime, though, I do work aboard a ship. I fix broken planks and sometimes ward off the unwanted intruder.
Interesting. Well, very interesting. I'm always interested in new stories, so if that all works out, let me know. Maybe I might tell your story.
Well, I will certainly keep your performance and our meeting in mind. And perhaps if we run into each other again somewhere down the way, I'd like to see you on the Rock of Brawl. I think you could really, well, not necessarily brighten up, as that doesn't seem to be your demeanor, but I think you could provide a bit of culture and entertaining insight to the folks who live on the rock.
Oh, you've misread. It's all I do is to brag about things. So I'm more than happy to appeal to that. Maybe bring some sensible divine loyalties to your premises, perhaps.
Oh, sensible divine loyalties. What do you have in mind?
Well, not everyone worships what we worship here. Call it a missionary act, perhaps. Unless that doesn't suit you. You seem to, I don't recognize the pendant around your neck, but you seem to have your own god in mind.
I believe in my belief system, and I'll happy to do a religion check if you'd like. Would I know the Greek equivalent or the local equivalent of Garl?
Maybe a religion check might be a little bit of a difficult DC, but possible.
It is a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. I'll say that you just like poking in and out here and there, of the different establishments. At one point, you did find this statue of this like half man, half goat looking individual who was very mirthful and merry, and you did know that it was Pan, who is a god of fertility and sort of wild nature shepherds and kind of kind of revelry, and he's one, but the other would maybe be Dionysus, who's sort of like the god of madness and wine,
Right.
and somewhere in there might be your equivalent.
Right.
They're both sort of trickstery gods, but probably more
Right.
towards Pan.
Right. I would say that from what I've seen so far, wandering about town and observing people, my belief system translated to your pantheon kind of falls in between Pan and Dionysus.
Hmm. Pan and Dionysus. Two very fun and occasionally troubling gods.
Well, um, it depends on what you find troubling, I suppose. I try not to be too mischievous. I suppose you'd have to talk to my crew members to decide whether or not that's true. But I assure you, it's always all in good nature and mirth.
He goes, "Oh, I don't believe for a second that you stay out of trouble." And he like looks past you to like the bear and the boar and the rat, and he kind of like smiles, like excited by that prospect, not put off by it. He goes,
Right.
and he kind of like, kind of almost like pat, like back of the hand, gives you like a little friendly pat on the shoulder. And he says, "Don't be scared to me, this."
Fair enough. If you find yourself in a certain mood someday and you'd like a little retreat, find us in the astral plane. Again, my name is Chaplin, and I'm sure you'll be able to locate me.
All right. Well, I usually find myself in the mood, so I'll look you up. And he'll just kind of give you a little nod and a wink, and he'll return to the stage to continue his performance.
Thank you.
Cool. All right, let's check in with our other fellows as we have divided and conquered the city. Etherith, you, my friend, are next.
Hello.
We're going to change the music up a little bit because this is getting a little, yeah, this is getting so weird. You enter into this spa, this bathhouse. It's beautiful. There are multiple tubs set into the mosaic marble floor. There are statues of beautiful men, women, satyrs, of like elven human race, sort of holding jugs on their shoulder, and water seems to continuously pour out of them into the various like floor set pools. There seems to be public baths, private baths, and no shortage of men and women who sort of like wander around, who are like a staff of the bathhouse by sort of this like golden sash that they wear around their very minimal, very thin wear that is like definitely like kind of like damp from just like the warm moisture that's constantly rising, leaving not much to the imagination. And one of the workers will approach you. This man, this young lad in his early 20s or late teens, with sort of locks of brown, like chocolate brown hair, approaches you. He says, he goes, welcome, welcome. We have not seen you before here. You're most welcome. Who might you be?
I am Etherith. I'm actually a newcomer to the city, so fair to say I've never been here before. Where would you recommend would be where I should go first?
Well, I'm ever honored to have a newcomer. Hopefully you might become a little regular for us if we're lucky. Yeah. Here, come in. Come look around, see what suits you. And he'll kind of like take you in. He kind of puts a hand on the small of your back, kind of glides you in, and sort of like takes you through the baths where you see anyone who's bathing is like nude, and just like they're in there, but it's very public, and it doesn't seem to be like a very erotic thing. It just is what it is. And it says, well, we have all kinds of different baths. We have mineral baths that are for soothing aches and pains. We have hot baths, we have cold dip baths, we have private and public baths. Different themes for the interior baths for private ones. It could be tropical beaches, lush forests, moonlit meadows, whatever theme you like. We have dream weaving sessions for this experience that is sort of where you kind of lose track of the sensations of your body and kind of go into a dream-like state. You can also have private time with one of our many staff members in whatever shape you would like us to take. We cater to all tastes and wishes, but what would suit you best?
I mustn't say I'm intrigued by this dream weaving, dream weaving, sort of thing. It sounds quite interesting.
Well, of course, we'll get you set up immediately. Would you like to enjoy the experience alone, or with the aid of one of our orators to sort of take you through a guided meditative trance?
I think I'd rather enjoy it alone, thank you.
Very well, yes. And he will take you into this room, and you can't like the ceiling isn't very far up. It's only maybe a foot above your head, but you can't see it. It's just like this. It almost is like the darkness spell, where it's just black, dappled with starlight, like far away starlight, like the night sky, and the entire interior is very dark. But the tub is sort of like lit from like this blue illusory glow from under the water. He says, the water is filled with mineral salts that will allow your body to float, and the temperature is just so to ensure that it matches your body temperature and you lose track of your body. It can be a little bit of a jarring sensation, but if you allow yourself to embrace the moment, it can be very meditative and enjoyable. We offer the experience for 5 gold.
I hand over 5 gold.
And he says, excellent. Well, please take your time. You may use it for as long as you wish. There will be no health issues if you decide to spend hours here or minutes here. But please call if you need anything, refreshment, food, perhaps a companion, whatever you require. And he will just leave you within, close the curtain, and the whole room will the curtain will almost disappear as the whole room sort of goes black.
Etherith will kind of like just undress, get in the water, and stare up at the kind of just dark ceiling.
Absolutely. You stare up into the night sky, the darkness, and after maybe like 2 minutes, indeed, the water was a little different than your body temperature, but then it seems to kind of change temperature to match your somewhat reptilian body temperature, which might be different than the average humanoid. And after maybe 2 minutes after that, you do indeed lose track of your fingers, your hands, your arms, your torso, your head, and you're just almost having this out-of-body experience as you just sort of float in this temperate water and just feel the sloshing sound of the water and look up into the blackness of the night sky, and you feel, well, it's up to you, Athrith. Do you think Athrith would kind of like feel incredibly uncomfortable losing track of his body, or at complete ease? It's probably one or the other. I think
Etherith would probably embrace it, particularly because like being here in Thessalys has been kind of across between like, you know, almost comforting in its familiarity, but also very kind of like disconcerting in like, I'm in a place I've never been to, and yet I feel strangely at home. And so, you know,
absolutely,
this also in a sense feels like, you know, something to reflect on, really.
Yeah, definitely meditate. You could just like let your mind go blank and enjoy, or indeed you could be contemplative and have that sort of intentional meditative moment. And time just sort of rolls by. You kind of lose track of it a little bit. And after a certain point, you kind of come to consciousness, and at a point where you feel like the natural conclusion may come, How long do you think Athros would spend here in this sort of meditation?
Let's say a couple of hours. I think once he's finished, though, he may request a companion.
Fair enough. After a couple of hours, you sort of begin to like move your body and regain track of it, and you do indeed see your hands again, and it's this overwhelmingly stimulating moment of coming back to like physical consciousness, and you feel the need to use your body again and indeed make that request. And they will ask you, you know, all of your preferences of how many and what shape they may take. And after a moment, those preferences will be met. What would Ephrath's preferences be as he like calls on companionship?
Another Dragonborn, I think. Male, but like Etherith is very much kind of all things a bit of a dainty flower. He would be thinking of someone, like the Black Dragon from the Xenotermination, like big, muscular brutes.
Big, muscular brute, indeed. And sure enough, it doesn't take too long, and however made possible, this broad, bronze dragonborn, he even here in the darkness, even the starlight just seems to vaguely twinkle off of his like metallic form, giving him this sort of twinkly opulence. But he is brawny and broad and strong and dominatingly but kindly and gently sort of moves into the bath with you. And the experience isn't like a purely physical one. There's compelling conversation, and this person's clearly like a professionally trained like orator, conversationalist, entertainer. It's not so simple as a physical altercation, but it is an emotional and perhaps intellectually stimulating one, whichever direction you'd like to take it.
Yeah.
And even if it's just intellectual, whatever experience you wish for is what happens, and we will fade to black there as you enjoy the company of this companion for 3 gold, we will say. And as you leave, you are feeling refreshed, ready for the day, you gain an inspiration, and we're going to move right along there. So we are going to check out Ed or Arendil. Let me do the roll. And it seems that it will be you, Arendil, who we will be visiting now. Where were you off to again, my friend?
I was looking for some maps of the system or individual planets. And then also some sending stones, but like earrings of messenger or something like that we could distribute between the groups, or the party.
Absolutely. So I'll tell you what, we'll tie you two together, Ed and Arendil, because what you're both looking for will probably be found in the sort of spelljamming district that you're going to go looking for. There are various options, but you guys can head there together. I'm just going to put on... Yeah, like...
Yeah. It's hard to explain, Arendil, but it's just like, it feels different, you know? Every part about it feels different, so... Just trying to get a better hold of it all, you know what I mean? Like, it's a good call with the maps, of course, but it's just different, you know? Out here than where we're coming from.
Yes. I mean, I'm used to the splendor of some island cities, so I mean, it's not too much of a distant throw from me, but I could understand.
No, you haven't mistaken. I mean, when I'm piloting, it's since we've left I'm getting my the C's confused, but Ed would say it the right way.
Right, okay, yeah.
It's all been different, you know. It's Left is right, right is left, up is down. I don't need to finish that. Might be redundant, but you understand what I mean? It's just I feel like I'm getting my legs all over again, and so I don't know. And in my experience, there's so much you can learn from scrolls, masters of higher knowledge, but word of mouth, pilot to pilot, that's always been where I learned my best. So the way I figured, we can't be the only travelers here. I'm lucky enough there's a traveler out there that's been doing this a little bit longer than we have. Wouldn't mind lending me an ear, I suppose.
Well, that's a very good plan, Captain. We shall, I'm sure we'll find someone that's hopefully able to help us. It would be good to know the different types, especially in different spaces.
Marco, what did you do then? So,
Yeah. You guys wander around the city, hunting and searching a little bit. You do get to a place in the city where you do recognize, where you're supposed to be. It is this district that isn't. It's elevation wise, it's in the middle. So there's the ground, and then sort of rising up, you kind of find yourself at these like landing pads for spelljammers, and you have entered. Uh, it's called the Cosmic Wolf, where you're like, okay, here we are. This is where the spelljammers are. You see people a little bit more familiar. You see GIF, you see Hadozi, Plasmoids, elves, people dressed of, generally mixed with the styles of this particular wild space system. The sort of, Greek look to everyone. But everybody here is, wearing very advanced stuff, to put it mildly. The firearms they use, they don't look like flintlocks at all. And they don't look like anything. They're just like on another level. You see no mangonels on ships. You see no ballistas on ships. You see, maybe you can't even see weapons on some of these ships. And they're just like, they're not made of like wood. They're like sleek. You've definitely come to a place where like spelljamming is lengths and strides more advanced than your place. This is like super technologically advanced, to the point where the weapons are like integrated to the ships themselves, and there's designs the likes of which you've never seen before that are probably far more advanced than what you've experienced before. And you look around and see all kinds of stuff. You see there are the starbound docks themselves. You see there's a bazaar for buying and selling goods of the nature of spelljammers, from orreries to fish suits to other things you've never seen before, that you don't even really know what they are, alien fruits and rare materials. There is guild halls, inns, you name it, navigational spires that have astrological constellations sort of floating around the top of the spire. This is like the Spelljammer port. Like you've found your place.
oh my God, look at them. Have you seen ships like this before, Arando? Are you even ships?
Oh. I think even the advanced ships that we have in the Armada don't even touch this. It's maybe a good time for you to maybe draw up some plans with what we could find. It may be useful when we, if and when we go back, but maybe upgrading our own vessel might be worth it.
That's a good idea. And I think that's what Ed's gonna do, because this is kind of like those Fast and the Furious scenes when Vin Diesel and Paul Walker go to the car meets. So Ed's gonna go to like whoever's posting up by Ez and just be like, "What are you going to? You know, the turbo? Yeah, stuff like that."
Absolutely. Here, I'm just checking something real quick. Cool. Okay. Yeah, you go looking around. You're gonna go check out some of the new ships. There are ships that are very familiar, but like everything here seems modified. Everything is very, very modified. You see like strike ships that have like no canvas wings on them. You see uh, like a galleon with like tentacles similar to like an illithid kind of coming off of the front or the back or the side of it. Oh man, and generally like you begin to, as you go around the meet, make me like investigation check to begin to like sort of understand like where the technological difference lies.
All right. And you want me to do it intelligence or
Investigation.
investigation? Gotcha. All right, that is.
Guidance.
Guidance, fantastic.
Oh, nice. I forgot that I have a +7 for investigation. So that's 5 + 7, and then guidance is a 4,
D4.
yeah?
Yep.
Oh. That one's gone to the nebula. Let me try another one. That is a 4.
Ooh, a 4 at the end of the day. Oh no, what's the total? Sorry.
5 + 7 + 4. So 12 + 4, 16.
16. Very good. Okay, I will say like a couple of people like let you like look at their ship and like view the place, look around a little bit. There are some items that are very interesting that you see. You see some ships. They're like, oh well, we got rid of siege weapons. Like I mean, like what, like ballista? Like what stuff is this medieval times? And he's like, no, we. He's like, well, what's really common is arcane lenses. Like here, come take a look. And you see there's essentially this tripod with this magical set of like lenses floating above it in like almost like a tube. Like there's no tube around it, but almost like a magnifying glass without the casing. And it's rather large. And in the center isn't glass. There are just like these almost pangs of like pure magic. And he says, well, what you do is you hire a spellcaster, like hopefully like an evoker, and they'll like firebolt, whatever, cast it through the arcane lens, and it extends the range. So like I don't know, siege weapons are like there are some very advanced siege weapons out there that blow arcane lenses out of the thing, but this is industry standard. Like you hire a mage and they just fire through, and it extends the range so that you can hit ships a little further away, right? Like, I mean, what, you're gonna tell me that like a disintegrate spell is gonna overcome like the abilities of a ballista? You're gonna need a pretty good artillerist to be beating those kinds of numbers.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. What's your name? I'm at Captain Ed Bjord, by the way.
Oh, okay. Pleasure to meet you. And you shake your hand. I'm Captain Hylos.
Do you travel here often? We just arrived.
Yeah. No, me and my crew, we mercenary out a whole bunch. And you'll recognize the ship that you're standing on. It's a hammerhead ship, which is a pretty decently advanced and expensive ship. And he goes, we just kind of do like mercantile shipping work. We try and avoid, pirates out there. It's been tricky. There's been a lot of, I don't know if you've heard, but there has been, sorry, I'm just kind of scrolling a little bit. The Blades of the Shattered Moon have been doing like a lot of activity here in they're doing a lot of risking it here in Thessalys. It's I don't know what's going on, but they're looking for something out here.
Thank you, friend. Like I said, we just arrived here, so we're looking to get a lay of the town, dude.
Fair enough. Yeah, fair enough.
as you can imagine, we're not really from here.
Yeah, no, it's. I don't mean any offense, but it seems like you're. What do you got your ship armed with?
Uh, well, we hail from the rock Rawl. It's in the astral sea. Or,
Oh, you come from the astral sea. Wow, cool. Just like pure astral trip. You're just coming into wild space for the first time, huh?
first time, of course. It took a lot of getting used to, but it's. I was telling my colleague here, it just feels well, everything feels different. And I like to familiarize myself with different. So
Yeah, of course, of course. Well, I don't know. Hey, like we could talk shop sometime. Like, oh, there's some really good modifications to be found out here in Thessalus, like sort of like the heart of industry here. There's some good stuff, and the churches, like the temples. Like, there's rumors going around that you can get some pretty good upgrades off of a couple of the different churches there. They provide certain things like like magma mortars. Have you heard of the magma mortars? Those are new in the Temple of Festus, and some people who are like champions of the gods and whatever, and like really go the 9 yards. Like there's all those rumors going around about the storm generators. Oh, to have a storm generator. Oh man, so cool.
uh, Ed's gears are going, and he like snaps in and he goes, "Thank you so much. If you'd like, if you're cruising around, maybe us crews can get together, share a pint or two."
Yeah, sounds good. Sounds good. Do a job together or something. Yeah, well, I'm around here for the next couple of days, so yeah, let me reach out to you in a little bit.
Absolutely. Well, thank you.
Yeah, and while you're floating around there, Ed, and chatting, Arendelle, you're looking for. You said you were looking for local maps and like messaging earrings.
Yes.
Why don't you give me a quick investigation check? See how that turns out for you.
Oh, just rolled off a 20, but 17 in total.
17 is very good. You look around for a little bit. You're gonna find a local map without much issue. For 25 gold pieces, they'll give you like they'll give you like a physical map and like a digital copy that you can put into your orrery if you wish. You're like digital copy. They don't say digital copy. They're like we'll give you like an orrery copy. You're like, oh, I didn't know those things. Sure. And you like they basically give you this like little slab of some kind of like metal, like some kind of shiny blackish like obsidian like metal. They're like, yeah, just like tap it with your orrery. Yeah, you should upload.
Okay.
So they give you that local map, and that'll just be the map of Thessalys. So it'll help you guys find your way around Thessalus easy enough. And as for earrings, I'm going to say it's going to take a little bit more hunting around to find the earrings, but you catch a couple leads of shopkeepers who think are going to be able to sell that to you. Just need a little bit more time to look them up.
Okay.
Cool. And with that, we will call the session to an end. There were some events people were excited about, which we will get to next session.